talking to the meek.
Yo, resurrected, elected from the grave. I ain't worried about a demon defeat me, not today. I'ma stand on my feet with the meek. We on the way. Dry bones in the valley. I'm rallying for the save. Dry bones in the valley. Living but underpaid. Holy Spirit, make your presence known. We need change. Holy Spirit, make your presence known. We feel shame. Holy Spirit, make your presence known. We need flames.
Artists, these words is simply just a canvas that I wrote on. Can't supplement the faith. No creatine, but it's so strong. In our youth, we used to hit the block, getting our roll on. Now we take the gospel to the blocks we so dope on. Those that try to stop our faith, we told you so long. The rise of my people with these heathens trying to prolong. Been through so much, but we still gotta hold on. Like back when the lights was off, we turned the stove on. Searching for warmth in these cold streets. Oh, since we woke up the truth, we can't get no sleep. My thoughts so deep, trying to get my folks to see the picture, but we hitting rock bottom, trying to wrestle with the scriptures. It's crazy, demonic forces messing with your mental health. Got all 5 senses, but you still lack sense of self. Without the Lord, your life sagging. Go on, get a belt, and like that old Jordan commercial, stop and get some help.
Please, W-A-K-E-U-P, open up your KJV. We shaking up the world so you can't stay asleep. When you open up your eyes, they see IUIC, we on our grind. Bring a light to the world, let a star shine. So we pray without ceasing for our kind. Gotta stack them up to the third heaven till we give Raphael a hard time.
Dead bodies, dead conscience, dead presidents, they said commas. But that's a coma, ain't it evident that's head trauma. They said a lot, but that's irrelevant. The devil been working overtime without the scheduling. The medicine prescribed, that's the word of my God. You'll never be alive unless you let the spirit inside. Vampires throw the shade on them, but day walkers keep the blade on them. Get cut to the core, but never fade on them. Live again.
Wake up out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek. Wake up out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek. Wake up out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek. Wake up out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek. Wake up out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek. Wake up out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek. Wake up out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek. Wake up out of your slumber, wake up out of your sleep, and receive His Spirit. You know I'm talking to the meek.
I need it to go away. Joy comes with the morning light. Wipe the tears off of my face. Got to do it is raining. Open the blinds and fill the house up with light. My Bible shining. It brings the sun out at night. And I see the rain, and I needed to depart from my sight. You gotta hold the line, it fight. And you know you gotta hold your head and gotta keep your chin high. It's a lot of pain we endure in this life. Keep the laws and the faith in Christ, you'll be winning. You will be winning. You gotta hold your head and gotta keep your chin high. It's a lot of pain we endure in this life. Keep the laws and the faith in Christ, you'll be winning. You will be winning when it's rain, rain, rain on my window pane. I feel the darkness outside. I need it to go away. Joy comes with the morning light. Wipe the tears off of my face. When it's raining, when it's raining, when it's raining, when it's raining.
Open my eyes, call me to see. When I wanna cry, but can't let them see. I need strength, I need power, I need lightning, thunder showers. I need warmth when it gets cold, cause I've been warring for my soul. And it's been pouring, I won't fold, but it gets heavy and hard to hold. Lost in the dark, tearing apart. Then I remember that I was chose, son of the king. I gotta believe, I build up my faith. I gotta read, I gotta conquer. Never concede, not bending the knee, I stand on my feet. Gotta keep the laws and the faith in Christ. It's a lot of pain to endure in this life. See the clouds in the sky, rain coming. So I hold my head high, no more running. Planted and I'm rooted in the spirit. Send up prayers, can you hear me? Lord, I need your healing, healing.
Rain, rain, rain on my window pane. I feel the darkness outside. I need it to go away. Joy comes with the morning light. Wipe the tears off of my face. When it's raining, when it's raining, when it's raining, when it's raining. Rain, rain, rain on my window pane. I feel the darkness outside. I need it to go away. Joy comes with the morning light. Wipe the tears off of my face. Have to endure when it's raining. Endure when it's raining. Endure when it's raining. Endure when it's raining. Yeah. Baby daddy, baby mama, stuck in the middle lane, that's for this, so much drama. I blame myself for you leaving daddy, so much trauma. Gunshots rang out daily, a long summer. In the winter we ain't have coats, snowy days but we ain't have boots. A father's presence, a mother's love, it's like we couldn't never have both. A lost soul that's in need of saving. I pray to God for a better day. I find solace in the Holy Scriptures, cause I know that it's the only way. This is the sounds of oppression. This is the sounds of oppression. This is the sounds of oppression. This is the sounds of oppression.
Didn't make it easy on ya. Sorrows is all I ever felt growing up. Now I'm grown, but I feel like I'm 5 when I think how you started a new life without us. Missing you, missing us. A family crumbled to dust. Was it worth it? Do you hurt like we're hurting now? These are our circumstances. Only this milk that I'm sipping on can correct it. Only the word of God. Forgive my daddy for walking away from us. Forgive my mama for her rage when she drank too much. Forgive no child that they suffered abuse.
This is the sounds of oppression. 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 I need a blessing.
Trauma abundant with another. Why I do it? Why you do it? And I spent my last on another. Why I do it? Why you do it? It's amazing how looking for liberation cost me freedom. And the demons never stayed when I need them. When the rent due, thrown off, blown off by my own people. This oppression birth another non-believer. I just wanna feel real. But I'm getting numb to the high. Think I shed the last tear that I could cry. Question if it's best I die. Spirit dead inside. I just wanna rest. Hard to pass when I'm put to this test. The after effects got me not wanting to even see what's next. But deep down I wanna beat what's best. God's son, God's word, how I cope. I'm a prisoner of hope. Ain't been afloat since we got off the boat. Lord set me free.
This is the sounds of oppression. This is the sounds of oppression. This is the sounds of oppression. I need a blessing.
Father, won't you take me, hold me? I'm asking you to show me, show me. Father, you're the one and only. I know that you are worthy, worthy. 'Cause to die is my right to my life, and I will lay down my life for you, lay down my life for you. 'Cause to die is my right to my life. It's a fight to the end, fight to the end.
Yo, no greater love than losing my life for my people, than losing my life for my kinsmen, than losing my life for the kingdom. I want my sins forgiven, to live a life worth living. I just want to see our freedom. That's why my wheel's still spinning. I lived a life full of evil, many mistakes and I'm paying for it. Saw affliction since the beginning. Gotta win it cause I'm made for it and I prayed for it. Through the fire, got blazed for it. Came out shining with white raiment. Lost sleep many days for it and I'm saved for it. Like, had to lay down my life for my King Christ. I didn't have to think twice. Had to lay down my life. I didn't have to think twice for my King Christ. Double honors to the martyrs, double honors to our fathers. Revelation chapter 6. I seen the souls under the altar. Righteous blood won't vengeance, righteous blood won't penance, righteous blood crying out for the wicked man's sentence and his rulership in it.
Take me, hold me, I'm asking you to show me, show me. Father, you're the one and only. I know that you are worthy, worthy. 'Cause to die is my right to my life, and I will lay down my life for you, lay down my life for you. 'Cause to die is my right to my life. It's a fight to the end, fight to the end.
Color-coded in the cosmos with brown hues.
It's that time again.
Power Plus.
Ya la hora. You know, power hour. Ponle atención, class is in session. Tune in for an hour, maybe more, that's a blessing. Learn from the captains and the leadership. Flee from religion, cause them churches never teaching shit. Everything you learn for your benefit. Line upon line is a requisite. Never take a deficit. Yeah, that mean you take a loss if you stray from the way. You get the understanding if you study every day. Apply what you learn and bless when you pray. There's one interpretation, man, it's say what it say. Ya viene el tiempo, entra para el templo. Aprende aprende del maestro con talento. La Biblia es el centro, usando a Israel como instrumento. No te pierdas en doctrina como viento. Estudia y ora y aplica. Tiempo para Dios, ven, hace una cita. Escritura dinamita, morenos y hispanos israelitas. Oye cómo explica Israel unido en Cristo para la vida, nunca se divida. Tune in, it's the power hour. Learn your family history, don't be a coward. Yeah. Tune in, it's the power hour. I said learn your family history, don't be a coward.
Yeah, history to learn. It's the power hour. 11 hour. Tune in to your history. You know it ain't history. Power hour. 11 hour. You gonna get your history. 11 hour.
Rockin' with the deacon while you waiting on the weekend. From the tribe of Ephraim, Puerto Rican. That's a byword, those ain't names, it's God-given. Fighting from oppression to saving all guys, chilling, giving light to the people. Don't let the devil beat you. When you have at your disposal all these leaders that can teach you how to fight fornication, eat in moderation, correcting all these marriages and self-examination. All these different topics getting covered plus a lot more. You probably sleeping if you thinking this is not war. All these different topics getting covered plus a lot more. Just tune in and we gon' tell you what to watch for. Yeah, the power hour. You know, it's the power hour. Yeah, the power hour. Yeah.
Hour plus.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that last part where they put the fire and it says power hour. That's kind of dope, man.
How's it feel to finally?
Oh, it feels like second because you guys released a new intro when I wasn't here.
Man.
Dang.
Cloud Hammer.
But it's all right. I heard you're my mini-me.
Oh, praises, man.
Jesus.
I'm glad I can take
Somebody in the
some.
comments was like, "Wow, Officer Ash is like a mini Deacon Joshua."
Man.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. That's it.
yeah, you like that? You sure?
Yeah.
I thought you didn't like the mini part. You would have just been.
Nah. I think I just felt good that we somebody was able to give some kind of comparison,
Yeah.
and say some similarity.
I know.
It reminded me
I'm
of
glad that
Elisha
they
and
acknowledge
Elijah.
that I'm taller than you.
I don't think
Man.
that's what they. Is that what you
That's
got
how
from
I
it?
took it. Like they can tell
Damn,
that you're
the
like
mini.
They can tell like you're smaller than I am.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I know. We did.
I took all the
did
good from it.
establish he's at least the shortest
Right.
brother in Phoenix,
Adult.
if not.
Yeah.
Not in Israel,
Adult.
but
Adult.
Might be the shortest officer in Israel.
Might be.
Deep.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey,
I've seen some shorter. Men.
I don't know. That's
Birmingham.
the
Birmingham.
Israel. That's the
In
Israel
Birmingham.
Book of World Record.
No, no, no.
Right. Right. Damn. He put the oompa loompa.
Damn, not the Oompa.
Oh man, see,
I
I
mean.
team, boy, they got it coming, boy. They got
Like,
it
listen.
coming.
I ain't got no short jokes because I know I'm short. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But
You sure got a lot when you talk to me, Deke.
but you know why?
They
You know
just
why?
come out, bro. It's crazy.
Because I feel like you've yet to really embrace it, right?
You was telling me that. You was
like I
telling
was
me that.
getting on him.
Yeah, he
and
started getting triggered.
No, but I sort of looked. His
Oh,
cheek,
he was twitching?
His left
Oh,
cheek was
damn.
twitching
Damn
when I was
it.
talking about his height.
He saw the cheek twitching, bro.
Crazy work.
Damn.
Well, and I know because I told him I think it wasn't until I could say like fully over it 28. Like,
Okay.
it took me. I had to be 20. After 28, I was just like, whatever the hell you think, I don't care, you know.
Oh, he's around
Right. That's how he was twitching when you can put that up. That's how he was twitching when I was talking about his height. So, you know,
Damn.
right. Still mighty though. Still mighty.
There you go.
That's
there you
right.
go.
Still mighty.
Appreciate you.
Still mighty, Schnoz.
You see that? You see that?
Like Mighty Mouse.
Hey,
Mighty Mouse.
hey, this is how you know Deacon Yash was a good jokester because most people just have short jokes, right? Like Officer Tobias, that's all he got. Officer Ray, that's all he got.
You sure?
He's got schnoz.
You sure?
He's got this. Oh,
Okay.
you should see us on the Northern Kingdom trips. He is. He don't let.
I know. He's dying to release like outtakes.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Like when we're on the bus
Yeah.
and we're just riding in between, like getting to places and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Sometimes
A lot of it's too much though. We
it's
can't
not
put
stuff.
that out.
And that's the stuff that like when we're on trips, you
It's
see.
to
like,
build a camaraderie.
we
stuff.
got the camaraderie going on and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, it's not like we riding over there and we just all serious, like ready for war. You know what I'm saying? Like we're
Right.
enjoying each other's company and presence.
That
I mean, 'cause-
brotherhood.
mean, you don't know.
A band of brothers.
That might be the last camp some of us might ever hold. We don't know.
Yep.
You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
So
Yeah.
we enjoy each other's company on them trips. We build a lot of camaraderie. And sometimes you be checking a lot of spirits, bro. So when you're coming out and you kind of gauge brothers' spirits, you know, you test the temperament and stuff like that.
You be making brothers sweat in that truck, man.
Man, that's just
they be
a
in the
thing.
back.
That
They
is
be in the back like.
That's a superpower he got right there to make a brother sweat.
Yeah.
Golly.
And none of it's intentional.
Right.
I mean, as far as trying to make you sweat, it's,
Right.
There's intent behind. You know, if I see a trigger, like, you know.
But you know what? But you know what makes it worse?
Yeah.
You know what it is? That I want a brother to own it and then, like, realize, like, damn, you know what? Maybe I got to examine. Like, why am I so bothered by this? You know?
But you know what makes it worse? You got Captain IBO hyping you up. So Deacon will go.
Well, we all play off.
And then Captain IBO will say something, and then out of nowhere, Captain Zeph just comes out with something outrageous.
Yeah.
And everybody's just.
You seem like you twitching right now.
That's years of brotherhood where
Yeah.
we're just able to bounce off each other. And stuff
A
like
threefold cord is not
Man.
easily broken.
Yeah, man. That's it. Once me and the captains get on the same page, bringing the heat, forget
It's
it,
over.
bro.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
over for
bro.
that.
That thing is something else.
Man.
But all praises for that unity, them trips and stuff like that.
That's right.
So I introduced myself.
Officer Asher.
Officer Rouvain.
Officer Tobias.
Yeah, man. I'm back.
We in here.
In the building.
Y'all been
In
here.
in that thing.
All
Hey, y'all
praises,
been
man.
holding it down, man.
All praises.
Y'all been holding it down.
All praise.
Right? All praises to the Most High. Good feedback on the shows that y'all done. I know I kind of left y'all, right? I left y'all with a banger, and then I didn't come back.
Yeah.
Man.
2 whole weeks.
Didn't come back. Well, one week I wasn't feeling good. Then the next week I was just tied up. I said, "Damn." I said, "All right." But I'm here. I said, "You know what? I had another direction I wanted to go coming back for the show.
Bars.
I was going to continue a little bit on the same vein that Asher kind of continued with and dealing with those type of topics. I know people like the relationship stuff, the self-help stuff. The sisters seem to like the abuse. Like when we get on the... No, they be like excited, bro. They be in the comments like, "Yeah, we need the medicine, dude. We need the medicine." Meanwhile, I'm checking like if my car, do a walk around, make sure the tires ain't slashed.
Right.
None of that. Like, over some of this stuff,
Right.
So, but so I did the little Insta promo today. If you've seen it, I know they put it on Facebook. I got the opportunity, the privilege to teach the National Sabbath afternoon class, which it's always a privilege, and I always it's never light to me. Like it's
Right.
It's a heavy thing.
Like I get wound up about it, and I think people were really like the feedback that I was getting. Like people was DMing me, messaging me the next day. Everything I was reading in the comments as far as the feedback from the topic.
Right.
People were really impacted by it. So I said, even you guys were coming up to me like, "Yo, this was heavy and this and that and whatever." And I said, you know what? I mean, I'm sure some brothers had some things that they wanted to say. They felt to it. Some of you, I saw you shifting in the seat. Like,
Moving.
You thought it was like the show? Like you wanted to say something during class?
Bro, I sent Deacon like a good 8 or 9 scriptures.
But I know people were texting me scripts and all that. And I said, you know what? I said, we're going to continue on, right? We tweaked the title a little bit. So instead of it's all in your head, you could throw it up on the screen. It's still in your head.
Dang.
And we're going to unpack the wounded soul a little bit. Sabbath class, I'm trying to get through. I want to get through my scriptures and all of that.
Right.
So we're gonna do it our way, power our way, right? And we're gonna unpack it. We're gonna do it in the discussion format that we do. And depending on how the flow of the show goes, there's one in particular. I don't know that we have time for both. But there was one that I didn't get to emphasize enough. Like I focused on depression, anxiety.
Right.
But I figure I could get granular about some of the other ones that we have. And one of the big ones that is very hard for most of us to identify and for us to identify in ourselves and embrace, and is one of the biggest biblically root causes to the issues that we have with correction and rebellion amongst Israel, is narcissism.
That's a heavy one.
That's crazy you mentioned that. I was listening to one on Audible.
Yeah.
I was listening to a book, and it was going into that, into the different levels of narcissism.
Right.
That's crazy you mentioned that. Wow.
Narcissism. I did do a picture of one, if I'm not mistaken. But they call it like there it is, narcissistic personality disorder.
To the left.
Yes, two of them. You have the picture on the side. There's a picture though.
Right next to it,
Yeah. And was there one more, or is that the only picture? Because I'm seeing you say narcissist there, right? And that's a heavy spirit on us. So we'll get there. We're gonna do some of our health stuff, right? We're gonna talk about that.
We got to do some house cleaning.
Right, we're gonna talk about some stuff. Ruvain gonna big up OR. Talk about some. You got any promos to show tonight?
I got a couple of promos.
Oh, all right. But I said, look, man, and y'all call in if you want to call in. All right, we posted the Zoom link up. We'll post it again. All right. Of course, it'll get screened. Right. You know, we want to have some engagement. We want to get some feedback, have the dialogue around it. But I do have a little flurry of some scripts to show you narcissism in the scriptures, right? And then we'll talk about that, and then we'll see where we go from there. We'll see how the show flows.
More fire.
Outside of that, but no, I also got I had segments on ADHD because I think that's another one people struggle
curious
with.
about
Yeah, I want to know more about that one because I feel like I'm.
Because he be trying to like put everybody in the same bucket.
Yeah,
right.
And that's a big one.
Specifically our people.
And I want to say something because I do know that out of respect, some people might have held their tongues, but I saw them going at it in the comments on Saturday. Not that I see it live, but usually I'll go back and review in case somebody has some sort of question or something that'll give me an idea for a topic.
Right.
And I think somebody made a comment. I don't know if you want to call it insensitive, but it was a generalization. I'll say it was that. On one aspect of, I think it was the postpartum depression or just depression in general. And, I know I got on the sisters a little bit about the pregnancy not being a sickness and whatever. I don't want anybody to think that I'm not saying, and I think contrary-wise, if you really watched the class and took detailed notes, I think I painstakingly took the time
in the beginning
to make sure that not only did I express that I know these things are real and how you experience them.
Right.
I even acknowledged, because the retort was, it's a chemical imbalance in the brain. I'm not denying that.
Right.
I'm not denying that we have chemical and hormonal and electrical responses that go on. But what I'm telling you is, you're not a bystander in this vessel, in this carnal vessel that you have. If you build up your soul, you'll be able to either, in the most faithful instances, overcome it and eliminate it completely.
Yep.
In the worst case, with the littlest of faith, you'll be able to kind of alter that pathway. And when I hear that, but it's chemical, I hear the way Esau diagnoses you and makes you helpless about it.
Right. So
and it's like it's basically this puts you in a frame that just seek pity and validation from it.
Like you can only be a victim.
Right.
And like you can only be a victim, right? So I'm not saying that none of those things are not real, those type of feelings, ADHD being one of them, right? But there's things that you can look to in the scriptures that shows you that names that type of spirit. And the same type of remedies typically apply. You just got to believe that they're gonna help.
That's the big one.
Right. It's kind of like when you go and you start working out, right? And you're not very strong, and it sucks. Right? Let's say you're doing strength training, it sucks. You're weak, you're struggling, the form isn't good, and then if you don't do it right, you wind up with some sort of weird pain that's beyond just muscle soreness sometimes, right? And it sucks. It's like, oh my gosh, and now I got to go again. And it's hard to look for something, right? You got to find the big why and what drives you and why you want to change it. But once you start to see the results of the discipline and continuing, right? Because let's say I go and I want to work my chest. Yeah, there's a million machines. Guess what you're doing? It's really... Although they call them pressing movements, right? It's adduction. Right? Coming in is adduction. It's adduction of the humerus. That's what the chest movement is. Right. Even when you press, that's what you're doing. You're bringing the arm closer to the midline of the body, right? Same thing like when you twist to, You'll feel it in your chest when you're trying to twist a can open or
Right,
whatever,
right.
In your arm or whatever, in your grip. And my point is, you don't go and after one session you see your pecs pop.
Facts.
You don't go after 10 sessions, maybe sometimes, and see your pecs pop.
Right.
It's a compounded effect of consistency and applied discipline of the prescription, because it's exercise prescription, right? That helps you conquer whatever it is that you want to do. That's how you elicit change.
That's heavy.
It's the little changes multiplied over long periods of time that do it. So it's not as simple as just apply the solutions that I gave in the scriptures and then you're done and you're healed. No, it's that becomes your armor. And I think that was the point that I was trying to make when I went over that verse. Let's get that in Ephesians 6 real quick, right? And I know we go over that a lot. And we're going to run it back. We're going to do our promos. We're going to do the other stuff. And then, we kind of go forward, then backwards, then land in the middle, all right?
You want to start at verse 10 or 11?
Let's start at 10.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might.
Right, so this is near the end of his letter in Ephesians, and he's letting them know after all this correction, all this understanding he gave, all this guidance and inspiration, finally, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. Reminding them, at the end of all these things that I told you how you must physically apply certain behaviors, do not forget the strength that you have in God. And he's saying, be strong in him and the power of his might. Let you know there is a God. There always got to be that little reminder to us sometimes.
Facts.
That we need to rely on him.
We need to rely on him. And that reminder that, I'm not saying that whatever diagnosis, because I know some people were saying that they're actually studying it. Like I think there were some people that say, look, I'm a doctorate in studying this. And I think they were getting it. None of them were against it. They were like, oh, yeah,
It makes sense.
Right, it makes sense. I was trying to see it, and some of them even make comments like, a lot of times when we discuss amongst ourselves, it's like, damn, like some of these patients, it's like there's these demons or these spirits that they can't get off of them. And your faith is really tested heavily. And I give the example with Legion. He believed,
right,
and that's why he was able to be resolved of that, right? And be healed of that. And you can never forget that part enough, because you hear people, oh, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And I give the example of the exercise. I mean, it don't work in the beginning.
Right.
But what you start to see first is your strengthening, right? Be strong in the Lord and the power of his might.
Right.
Before you see a physical transformation, you're 5 sessions in, maybe 3 even sometimes, if you're doing it right. Oh, that sucks a little less.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. 8 sessions in, that's a little easy. I got to add a little weight.
Right, I could do this.
You know what? I got to add 5 pounds on this thing.
Right.
And you take those incremental steps, and as you increase in strength, then the manifestation of the physical changes then happen. Right? Go ahead, keep reading.
Verse 11. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand.
And that whole armor goes into a lot of things. We've used this in a lot of different ways, but in dealing with the mental afflictions, the whole armor is apply everything the way the scripture says. Trust in that. That's the shadow of the Most High. That's what the taking us under his wing is. So it says, read it from the top again.
Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Right, because you have to understand that mental afflictions falls under the wiles of Satan as well. Right. Because it elicits the emotional inner lust inside of us.
Right.
And narcissism, the interesting thing about narcissism when we get to that is, notice they call it a disorder, right? Just like autism is not a one thing, it's a spectrum, right? They call it a disorder, meaning all of us have narcissistic tendencies.
Right.
Being carnal, we all have narcissistic tendencies, right? We vacillate between them based on the scenario or whatnot. And to some extent, once you understand what narcissism really is, it actually, in moderation, is healthy for you to have some narcissistic traits.
That's like the misunderstanding of the ego. Like when
misunderstanding of the ego, right? They say you have a big ego as if it's a bad thing.
Right.
No, if you had a big ego, you'd actually be more in tune with yourself and have more emotional intelligence. So it's really a little ego, right? But and narcissism has a lot of crossover with the ego. It, like it goes hand in hand with that. So there's certain characteristics from narcissism that are useful for us in the right context and scenario. The disorder, and that's why they call it a disorder, is when you can't see the forest for the trees in the scenario that you're in. Narcissists don't believe or accept that they're narcissist. Unlike depression. Oh, you know what? I'm depressed. You'll own that.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I got ADHD. Somebody diagnoses you with narcissism.
Oh no,
Not me.
Not me.
Schizophrenia, you'll own it, boy. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like almost anything else that they'll diagnose you with. Yeah, I have postpartum depression.
Right.
You'll take it. Narcissism, people don't.
Wow.
That's heavy.
So that's the subtlety and what makes it extremely dangerous, and why I say it's kind of almost the entryway for all the other ones. Right? Because we all have it, being carnal. Right? Like the image, it shows man, God, and we'll unpack that later. But lack of awareness of it, right, is more detrimental than, say, lack of awareness for the depression or anything else that's present there, right? Go ahead, read this from the top again, this verse 11.
Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Right, so it comes through Satan, right? Go ahead, come on.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
Right, and what you have to understand is that they are the ones that set the tone. That DSM and how they diagnose and things like that. For people who are without God and don't have this type of belief, no big deal, right? You take the medicine, you deal with their diagnosis, right? Some people have good outcomes. Most typically don't.
Right.
You have to kind of continue on with treatment, medication, or therapy. But people of faith and us as Israelites, where does this come into play with us? Well, you have to realize that that's the influence and the subtleness of this world. Because if it's coming from the very top in these principalities, in these powers, in spiritual wickedness, in high places, you can never, ever put off that you're influenced by it. Right? And again, this was I don't think I was able to emphasize it slowly. I had to kind of go briskly to get through my time allotted for the class on Saturday, but I can't emphasize that enough. Like like the point that I'm trying to make is, it's not just religion, it's not just Christianity, it's not just politics and everything, but it's the doctrines and the influence that comes from such high places, and that's a whole nother topic.
It's inevitable.
That we can speak about. Eugenics falls under that.
The agents of socialization.
That's exactly what I was going to say just now. That it's the agents of socialization. That's what this is really speaking about, right? And we might have to run that back because we did that so long ago that people might not understand what we're saying when we say that. But agents of socialization means everybody's socialized, right? There's norms. You go through sociology. If you ever took a sociology course, they talk about societal norms.
Yep.
And all of that. And what determines societal norms is what the majority is doing and accepting of. Right?
Right.
That's the zeitgeist.
That's the zeitgeist, the epoch of the times, whatever it is, the culture.
Right.
Of the time, the pop culture of the time. And agents of socialization start with things like family, right? That's your strongest foundational one, right?
Right.
So that's why I made the point of the prescription for helping is have community. Right. And community that's on the same page with you in those things.
And most of the things you pointed out, the first thing you do is you isolate yourself. With a lot of the things that you pointed out on Sabbath, isolation is a big factor in those spirits gaining hold.
Yes, it's an extreme factor in it because it makes you more susceptible to it. And then with the isolation comes the idleness teaching for much evil. With that comes self-torment, the conversations that you have within yourself.
So it only increases.
Right. So it only gets worse. And some people to the extreme where maybe you're not into cutting yourself, but the eating, the drinking, the drugs, the prostitution, the pornography, all these things that are damaging to your soul. Maybe it's sleeping around, right? And in that isolation, you're doing things like that, right? Right. And then, you're drowning in in these things. So the ages of socialization, so you have things like family. Now, in modern times, social media.
Right.
It might be more influential than even some of our families and community is,
That's
depending on your connection to that, right? Like the way we're connected to these, I had some pictures too. I don't know. I might have sent them a long time ago, years ago, because I wanted to go over a social media topic. But like, it was like depictions of how we're rooted, how the phone has roots and it's in our skin and things like that. And in church, religious institutions are one of them.
Yep.
Your peer groups, schools, and there's a whole bunch. We went over, it's like 7 or 8 of them. I even brought the textbook in, and we pulled out of the textbook of it.
That goes into when in the Matthew where he talks about how the it's wide that enters into destruction. What did it say? The gate is wide, or the path is wide that enters into destruction. Like all the avenues to get into sin, all these disorders that we're talking about is very wide. Whereas it's narrow to get into this book and change your life, right? It's much harder, but it's so easy to fall into all these things that you're going into.
Right. And the thing is, what I'm trying to, and the point that I'm really trying to make plain is that there has to be that acknowledgement of the influence from the high places.
Right.
And you have to hold your, so part of that, be strengthened in the Lord, be strong in the Lord in the power of his might, is that take what you're told about those conditions, but make sure that that doesn't become your doctrine and your gospel. Right, with what the scripture says. Right, so I'm looking at Mighty Prophet says, I'm an artistic man in his truth. Everyone is different, right? As far, when you're dealing with spectrum and orders, everyone is different in that regard. But when you're talking about spiritually, everyone is not different. Right, and that's the point I brought out. Give me that in Corinthians about such as is common to men. Right.
The book of 1 Corinthians.
And this is what I'm talking about. It's there's this defensive posture about whatever it is we suffer from when it comes to these mental afflictions.
Right.
And you want to defend the thing that weighs you down.
Right. That's crazy work.
Right. That's the spirit talking.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not faulting you, Mighty Prophet. I'm just trying to point this out as a positive example of this is the caution that I'm saying. Notice anybody who has or has been diagnosed with any type of condition, they have a defensive posture about it if you try to tell them anything out of what
100%.
the normative treatment is for it.
Right. That's
Right?
heavy.
You can't tell me this. You can't. I mean, look at how, with the overweight stuff, sisters that get PCOS. Oh, I'm fat because of PCOS.
Yep. And then they just stay in it.
Yeah.
And then you just stay in that.
Yep.
Right? And I've said this before. It sucks. It makes it harder. But not because your metabolism is altered. It just makes you feel like shit more often.
Right.
The experience.
So it's harder to stay consistent and do those things, right? You know, maybe your results might take a little longer, but you'll get the results, right? It just takes that building and things like that. So this is the point that I'm making. To say everyone's different, to a point physiologically, yeah, you might have another underlying condition depending on where you are on a scale of disorders, right? Because even narcissism has that as well, right? Autism is a spectrum, all the different ones, right? There's grades of depression and so on and so forth. In that regard, yes. But are we different in how God has made us? No. I brought that out, I think, in Ezra's where I spoke about you're born with your members, right? Read this, though. Come on.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
Right. There's no temptation that's taken you, except such as is common to man. You have to realize that these spirits and these mental, what they'll call disorders, I'm trying to tell you they're afflictions spiritually, right? That stuff is common stuff, and it's also temptations, right? Because with them comes all the ghosts, the spirits that weigh you down, right? So is it different that you have them and you don't have them in check based on the scripture? Yeah. But is it different in the rest of the verse? No. Read.
But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
Right, meaning we all have the ability. Remember what I said in the very beginning, because maybe people lose things, they tune in later. I said that in the best case, you overcome it completely.
Right.
And it's all dependent on your measure of faith and what God wants for you.
Right.
Right? In the worst case, if you have the littlest of faith, you can put yourself in a position where you have more good days than bad, where you're able to function at a higher spiritual resonance and level.
Strain that thing.
By nurturing your soul.
Right.
And that's the point that I'm getting to when I bring these things out. And a lot of it has to do with awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it has to do with awareness.
Deacon, you started your class with Luke about how nothing's impossible with God.
Right.
Right. And what I thought was heavy is the example you used, because Legion, in his mind, he probably thought what he was dealing with could never be overcome.
Right.
But once he gained access to Christ,
Yeah.
he overcame many spirits.
And the big thing was that he had faith that he was able to resolve those
Get me
things.
the one about the manifestation of the Spirit.
Yes, sir.
Right? And then I want, where is it where it talks about
It's the next verse.
are all apostles, or all this, or all that?
1 Corinthians 12.
That's it. Right? Because here's where the difference is. The manifestation of what your involvement is in the body, right? Because the example he gave was like, what about, like camp or something like that.
Right.
The manifestation is different. Because that goes into whatever God has dished out for you.
Right.
Yeah.
What he's
Right?
ordained.
But as far as what the opportunity that you have, the pathways that are open for you to receive the Spirit of the Lord, to battle those things, that's common.
Right.
Everybody has that opportunity.
That's heavy.
But how your healing manifests, yeah, it will be different for each and every one. But you got to be honest with you. And let me tell you, most of us are notoriously bad at being honest with ourselves.
Facts.
Yeah.
Look at Asher and his height.
That's facts.
You want to know how I got over it? See, that was a little hard, right?
Right. Like, nigga, why don't you stop it?
See how you got me? I got over it because I said it's not.
think you turned
It's not untrue,
Right. And you're not changing it.
and I'm not changing it.
You're never going to be 6 feet tall. It's okay.
So why should
Whoa,
it
whoa,
bother
whoa,
me?
whoa! I have faith. I have faith.
Wait. Oh.
The
Right?
angels can change.
It's not untrue. And let me tell you how powerful it is. Notice when you go to any of these multi-step programs, things like AA,
Right.
what's the first breakthrough that you got to have?
I'm an alcoholic.
Right?
You gotta
Hi, my name,
confess it.
my name
Yeah.
is so-and-so, and I'm an alcoholic.
Right.
My name is so-and-so, and I'm a drug abuser. My name is so-and-so, and I'm addicted to sex. My name is so-and-so, and I'm a prostitute.
That was the other heavy point. In your class, you were talking about the acknowledgement of God.
Yeah.
You got to acknowledge God
Yeah.
before you can start the healing process.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That was heavy.
Yes. And that's why I'm taking this time to emphasize that before we go into unpacking discussion and dialogue.
Right.
Because without that, it's going to be a defensive conversation. And I don't want to spend, I'll say this before. I'm not a doctor. I'm not I can't give you the medical side of those things. Right?
Right.
I haven't studied for that. That's not my expertise. Right?
Hey, Deacon, you mentioned about people defending these traits. This is a very short clip,
Okay,
36
hold on
seconds.
a second. Let me finish my thought. What I'm trying to do is give you the spiritual side of it.
A doctor of the law.
And
Right.
Bruh, that
Right,
thing,
that
bruh,
part,
that's all I
right.
thought of after that class.
Straight up.
Man.
Straight up.
Doctrine of
I've
the
heard
law.
that before. People have said that to me before.
That's a gift.
I'm just a messenger.
That's a
to
gift.
bring stuff out. I don't know. I just feel
a
like
gift.
I understand that there has to be a breakthrough in being able to explain. I've often said I can understand something, but if I can't explain it so that you can understand it, then what value am I of a teacher?
Right.
Right? Because there's people who are real good, right? Let's say carpenters, but they don't know how to let go to show others.
That's heavy.
And so people that makes you, when you die, that's it.
That's operating in the sixth sense it talks about in Sirach.
Yeah.
When you can articulate
Seventh.
it.
Right.
Now you're in the seventh sense. It's that speech,
That's a
an
good point.
interpreter of what you've been meditating
Right.
on.
Right.
That's heavy, man.
That is heavy. That's a gift. That's why that's a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All praises, mighty prophet. I just thought what you said was very interesting, and I'm sure you're not the only one that would look at it that way. And I think that's really the point that I'm trying to get to, and what motivated me to bring the class out was not for me to come and try to heal you from this stuff, but to let you know that healing of God doesn't have any type of asterisk next to it. It can be physical,
Damn,
it can
it's
be
anything.
spiritual, it could be mental.
Heavy.
Whatever it might be. Yes, it's not manifested as in the days of the disciples where somebody's going to lay hands on you and do that, right? Yet. Maybe before the end comes.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait
they
a
catch
minute.
that. Yeah,
Hold
they
on.
catch that part right there.
A lot of it has to do with faith. You don't know. Maybe people are going to,
Yep.
in
Start
those last
manifesting.
days, that'll manifest, right? But there's ways just within yourself and your walk that you're able to keep under your body.
Right.
And that's really what it boils down to. So read this real quick.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12 and verse 7. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal.
Right, so nobody's different. We just showed you that such is common to man. God is faithful to give you a way out. But the manifestation is different for everybody. Read that again.
But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal.
Now jump down. Is it 9, I think? Or I should just have my Bible open when I look at it. But I'll let you know what verse I want. 1 Corinthians.
You got verse 11. I think that's what you're looking for.
No, hold on. You're in 12. No, a jump to verse 27.
Verse 27. Now ye are the body of Christ, and members in particular.
Right. And here is where you might have differences. This goes into manifesting of the Spirit being slightly different, right? This is the same chapter, so it's talking about the same type of thing, right? This is what it means. Everybody's given a manifestation. This is the only place where it will diverge, and it might be different for you versus somebody else. But the application of how to conquer, put on that armor, be strong in the Lord, right? Resist the temptations and the wiles of Satan.
Common.
It's the same. Common, right? But go ahead, come on.
Verse 28. And God have set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healings, helps, governments, diversities of tongues.
Right, and he's just naming some. Then he continues on and says what?
Are all apostles? Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Are all workers of miracles?
Right, the obvious answer is no. Some are all of it. Some have none of it. Some have one of it, right? So the obvious answer is no. So the manifestation of the Spirit is different.
Right.
But what we do to fight, control, and move, that's the same for everybody. Right. That's the same for everybody. Read.
Have all the gifts of healing? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret? But covet earnestly the best gifts, and yet show I unto you a more excellent way.
Right, and I expounded upon that when I did a feast day class recently.
New moon.
Bringing that up. Was it the new moon class?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I went over that a little bit. Or maybe that was the Day of Simon one. I don't remember which one, but I did 2 back-to-back.
I remember that
and,
one.
But that's my point in bringing that out, and I wanted to show that. But go ahead, show your clip, Mini-Me.
Yes, sir. So this is going back to what Deacon was saying about people. They defend the thing that is detrimental to them.
Hey, before you show that, let's get them likes up.
Yes.
All right? Let me see. Where we at? I got to refresh.
So we
We
got
have 500 in the chat, but only 270 likes.
Oh, Jesus.
Shameful. Shameful.
Get them
Get
likes up.
All right. Go ahead. Show your clip, Asher.
Go ahead, play that joint.
And you know what's crazy? When I said this depression thing wasn't real, do you know how many people stuck up for depression? You don't understand. I'm depressed. Depression's real. I was like, if it's so horrible, why are you defending it? You sound like it's a PR team. Why, like, what? I thought it was ruining your life, but you are desperate for me to believe in it. You want me to believe in it. You're sticking up for it. You're defending depression, trying to convince me it's real because it's your cure-all excuse for failure. When you're depressed, you can fail in every human metric. I fail at everything, but I'm depressed. It's not my fault. No, you're a failure. That's all you are, because you're not trying very hard.
Yeah, and that's it, man. You got to try.
That victim.
You gotta try. You gotta try. Fight.
Get that 1 Corinthians 9?
Yes, sir.
26?
I think that's your favorite script, D.
Nah, man.
It gotta
It's
be.
been coming out a lot.
Man,
like
that's
every
that
week.
Emotional intelligence.
Nah,
to
it's
the
just been
max.
coming out a lot. I think for like the past 6 months, it's just been appropriate for so much that's been going on.
Right.
Go ahead, come on.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 9 and verse 27. But I,
6.
verse 26, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I.
Right. That's why I wanted 26 because it says, so fight I. He says, you're a loser.
Right.
So you got to fight.
You gotta fight.
Right?
That's
so
it.
fight I. Go ahead, come on.
Not as one that beateth the air, but I keep under my body.
Right. Not as one that beat it there, meaning I acknowledge and I know what I need to fight.
You focused.
You know the enemy.
You know the enemy.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
Go ahead, come on. That's heavy.
That heavy. That's the minute. If you didn't know, that's the Dominican
That
thing.
heavy.
That heavy. Your brother-in-law does says that all the time.
And bring it into subjection.
And bring it into subjection. He said, I keep my body in control.
Right.
And I bring it into subjection. When you defend your depression, your whatever it is that you suffer from, when somebody tries to show you another path, a spiritual way that you can deal with it,
Right.
what you're saying is that I am not in control. My carnal thing is stronger than my soul.
Dang. My body runs me. My spirit don't run nothing.
My spirit don't run
Hey,
nothing.
That's crazy.
You saying I'm not in the driver's seat.
Right.
There's nothing I can do. That's a failure. Read it
Right.
from the top again.
But
Let me finish the
I,
verse.
but I keep under my body
Uh-huh.
and bring it into subjection.
Bring that body into subjection, not the other way around. Go ahead, come on.
Lest that by any means, when I have preached to others,
Uh-huh.
I myself should be a castaway.
Right, because I'm telling you, you can do it, and then I don't apply those same things. It's the same reason the fat bodies cannot be out at camp teaching.
That's heavy.
Right.
That's heavy.
Because you out there talking about you can overcome all sin, brother. You can overcome all sin. You can't overcome the damn plate, bro.
Man.
Yeah.
Crazy work. Crazy work. What you got?
I wanted to go back to verse 26.
Verse 26. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly.
So he said, I don't run as uncertainly. That's showing you the measure of his faith right there. Go ahead.
So fight I,
Uh-huh.
not as one that beateth the air.
Now remember, the verse above was talking about some strive for the corruptible crown, but we strive for the incorruptible.
Right.
He's telling you with certainty that he fights because he understands that he's going to be able to get the result that he's looking for in the end.
Right.
He has faith.
Right. That's heavy. And that goes with is it Ephesians? Where does he say that which is behind?
Philippians.
Philippians, that's it. Get that one.
The book of Philippians, chapter 3, and verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Brethren,
So this is meaning I'm not looking for the corruptible crown, right? But this is what he says. Go ahead, come on.
brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended,
Meaning understood, right?
but this one thing I do.
He says, I'm not saying I know all things, right? He goes, but this one thing I know that I do. And this is what helps me to keep my body in subjection. Go ahead, come on.
Forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before.
That's the
That part. Right.
I got diagnosed with this. All right, let me process it. Let me go through it because you're gonna feel away,
Right.
You got to go through the whole steps and all that stuff, and then now I'm gonna put that thing behind me and I'm gonna press,
That's it.
and I'm gonna press.
That's heavy.
right? But keep reading.
I press toward the mark.
Towards what?
I press toward the mark
Come
for
on.
the prize of the high calling of God.
Right, meaning not a corruptible crown.
Right.
Right.
I'm pressing for something more.
Right.
So when you sit here and you defend your depression and you defend whatever mental disorder that you have, and you say I can't fight it, you stuck. You're living in the past. You don't press toward the mark, and you're not pressing towards the high calling. Because not just Paul that had a high calling. All Israel's called.
Right.
All Israel's called. You were chosen, but all Israel's called.
I got one more.
And then Tobias has something.
2nd Ezra, chapter 10, verse 15. I remember Bishop Kanai brought this out.
Yeah, everybody's saying the mic said, yeah, I know. You know what? We knew it coming in. I don't know. The sound checks still aren't happening on the mics.
They sent me a message. It should be better now. Officer Michael told me to do some stuff here. And
okay.
Hopefully it's better. Let us know, please.
You know, it's not the first time I said D should be sound checked beforehand.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Come on.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 10 and verse 15. Now therefore, keep thy sorrow to thyself.
So look, when you going through something, it's not that
Nobody
you have
cares.
Thank you. Okay. Nobody cares, but people do care because why? Because that's why you need to constantly be around a godly man.
Keep your sorrow to yourself.
Yes, but watch this.
And bear with the good courage.
This is that fighting with certainty. Come on.
That which hath befallen thee.
Why? Because when all of the things that you're dealing with are coming to man, and the Most High always has an escape for you.
And what's heavy? That's a very good scripture, Ruvain. And what he's saying is, he says, have courage.
Right.
Meaning the acknowledgement that yes, it's scary.
Right.
You're uncertain. So you be courageous.
Right.
And that goes back to what we read in Ephesians 6 and 10, where
Be
be strong in the Lord and the power of His might.
Right. And when you think about it too, as you continue to talk about the sorrow, you keep it alive. If you forget the sorrow that's
give it
behind,
power.
you're allowing yourself to get over it,
Right.
and now you can press toward what's in front of you.
Right.
Right? Because he says afterward, if you bear for a time, in Sirach 1, joy is going to come after that time.
Yeah.
Let the sorrow have
Let
its
the Lord
time
work.
and then move
Hey,
forward.
That's like the show Evil, right? With the Luke Cage guy. What the hell's his name, that actor?
Shit, I don't know.
He good. I like it.
The bald-headed
good
dude.
Jew
Right,
actor. Yeah,
Deacon's
bald-headed dude.
He's the movie
so
guy.
there's
He
a
got all the
series-
references.
There's a series called Evil, right?
Right.
And it's like Catholicism and
Yeah.
good and evil. They show like the goat foot legs and the horns and
Right,
whatever.
right.
But it's cool because it's such a dope twist because it shows Satan's influence in the earth, and it's basically these mega corporations, politicians, and I always see spiritual value in something.
Right,
Very
right.
rarely do I not see it, right? So I liked it, right? And then I grew up Catholic until I went to high school.
Right.
Did all my
God.
sacraments except confirmation and all that stuff like that. And I saw right through it. So, it's like they into exorcisms. He's like a black priest but anyway, there was one episode where the pastor of the church that he works at was and all the episodes have some vein of this. I guess it was somebody that he was very close with died. And there was this nun that she could actually see the spirits.
Oh wow. So like what you're showing in the book,
Yes.
she's seeing all of
Nobody
that.
else saw it, but she could see it. And the pastor was not feeling good or whatever, everything else. He was wallowing in his sorrow, and it was this little ass demon, and he made a hole in his side. This is how the nun would see it.
That's crazy.
And he would be eating out the inside of him. And he had a little fire in there, and he was warm in there. And whenever she would come to cheer him up, the demon would run away, and he wouldn't be inside of him, and he wasn't happy. So,
Swept and garnished.
Right. And then he would come in, and only she could see it. And it would be for whatever it was that you were dealing with. She saw the actual
spirit.
demon that it was.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
And it was a
Damn.
different demon and everything for
Made
it.
me
So-
want to watch that joint.
Right.
Yeah,
So
for real.
yeah, I mean, the serial style of how they did it. Here's what I really liked about the show was they left it up to you whether it was a spiritual thing that happened or a scientific thing. Because one guy on the team was a scientist,
He didn't believe in
and she was a psychologist.
right.
So it was interesting because now that I'm going over this topic, I'm thinking of it more. He was the priest. Luke Cage was the priest.
Right.
He was the one that was the strong believer, and all of it to him was that it was Satan in the midst and demons.
Right.
The psychologist was there. These were basically like the ones to kind of give the other side of it. The psychologist was there to say, no, this is a manifestation of this condition or that condition. And she always had an answer for what happened. And then the scientist, when she would get stumped, the scientist would have something. Oh, well, this is unexplained then. It must be spiritual. And he was like, no, you can look at this, you can look at that. But the thing was, at the end of each episode, it was never definitive. So as the viewer, you were left.
What do you think it
So
was?
if you were very sciencey, you believe the science guy. If you were into psychology, you believe what the psychologist said. And if you were a man of faith, you believe what the priest was saying, right? And they left it ambiguous like that. But towards the end of the series, even the psychologists and the scientists, while stuff was happening to them that they couldn't explain, that at the very least they had to acknowledge that while every case they dealt with might have not been the devil,
Right.
that there's something
in the
more
Supernatural.
than just- there's something
there.
supernatural.
That's
Yeah.
like the magicians back with Pharaoh. Pharaoh's magicians. At the end, they had to acknowledge, bro, this is God.
Yeah, right. They couldn't replicate, so they knew
Right.
Right.
the superpower.
Right.
No, that's heavy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yep. So, good example. Good example. And I thought the show was great. It was great writing and everything.
Right.
It had got canceled off CBS, and then I think it got picked up on Paramount Plus. And then after it ended, I canceled Paramount Plus. Because I was only watching that for Halo
like
and
that.
that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then because it was too redundant. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I could get movies on everything else. I don't need it like that. But anyway. Let's go back and let's talk about. Oh, you had some more?
Can I point one thing out?
Yeah,
real
go
quick?
ahead. Go ahead.
Get 2 Ezra 7 and 56. Because what I thought too was heavy. This last week, the spirit's been moving. When you look at Deacon's class, right? And then you also look at Deacon Malachi's class. You could read verse 55, and he went into how the stars and how we'll be shining bright, right?
Right.
But read verse 56, because this is the verse right after what Deacon Malachi was expounding on. Read that.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 7, verse 56.
Right?
For while we lived and committed iniquity.
Because iniquity's sin. And when we sin, it's damage to our soul. That's what Deacon went into, right? Read.
We considered not.
We don't consider when we commit these sins. Read.
We should begin to suffer for it after death.
After we die. And we don't even realize while we're living, there's effects that happen to our body and to our soul. Keep reading.
Then answered he me.
But this is the response that came back from the angel. Read.
And said, This is the condition of the battle.
This is the condition of the battle. While we're on this earth, we're in a battle, right, Reed?
Which man that is born upon the
We've
earth
all been born upon this earth. God sent us back for a reason, Reed.
shall fight.
We have to what?
Shall fight.
And when you read that 1 Corinthians 9, that's exactly what Deacon was talking about.
Right.
The fight that we got to fight is against sin. We got to be able to identify all of these things that were outlined in Romans 1. All the conditions that they give us, go to the Bible and use the doctors God sent to heal our souls. Because at the end, keep reading.
that if he be overcome,
Read.
he shall suffer as thou hast said.
This is the option. You can choose to be a victim. We all find ourselves in that victim mindset at times until we understand that God is faithful. He's going to give us a way to overcome it. But if we be overcome, we have to suffer for it after death. Read.
But if he get the victory,
And it's already prophesied. We got the victory through Christ. And all the prophets he's sending on this earth. If we get the victory, read.
he shall receive the thing that I say.
Which is that prize of the high calling of God. We got to receive these promises, and we got to understand there is a promise if we fight a good fight and we overcome. That's right. That thing's heavy.
All praises. Hey, let's go. Let's take a little break. Let's do a little housekeeping.
The little housekeeping.
All right, go ahead.
First of all, what is the sin of the night?
Uh-oh.
What you got?
I can't-
Now, you know what?
yeah.
Hold on. We going to start with Diacon over here.
Yeah,
'cause
he
I-
been
right,
on.
right,
He been
right,
going.
right.
So I need to know what you working with
you
over
said
there. D, what's
Diakono?
out?
I'm marking the coconut tonight.
The coconut.
Coconut.
Okay.
With the lime in
Coconut.
the coconut.
And mixing all praises, man.
Shining.
I was asking what you got going on.
Tobacco vanilla.
Tobacco
Okay.
vanilla.
Tobacco
Okay.
vanilla.
Wait a minute. Are you still not a beer guy, though?
Bro, we've already determined this. You
Hold on,
gonna keep bringing this up?
I mean, until I see fruit meat
I,
for
I-
repentance.
I know one thing he is, regardless, a short guy. The shortest
Yeah,
one.
the
The
shortest
shortest
one
the sh-
in Arizona,
the
at
short-
least.
In Arizona?
In the West.
He's at least the shortest officer of 50.
At least. Damn. Oh, my goodness. Man, what you got going on, Toby?
Today, hey, rose sandalwood.
Okay, you know what?
You've been rocking that one a lot.
Yeah,
Is
I
that 'cause
really
it's
like
the
it.
only one you have?
No, I got
Damn. And he said,
Yeah.
he said, I gotta
Yeah.
be faithful
Yeah.
in little. I
Yeah,
gotta be
bro.
faithful in little.
Now I got 4 different flavors right now, but the
Okay.
rose sandalwood, I like the way it smells.
Okay, all right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I've got that Dracar Nights on tonight. I like that.
You had that one on last week too.
I haven't used that
I
one.
like it. Man, it's,
I haven't used
it's
that one.
nice.
It's supposed to be like Dracar. I know that was very popular like in the 90s as a cologne. That and
Yeah.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah, I remember Fahrenheit.
Yoop.
Yeah,
Yoop.
I remember that. But check this out. Hey, let us know in the comments what scent you be rocking. Because I know y'all hip to that MBD. And if you're not, you need to go to getbeardgains.com so you can cop some and put it on your manly badge of dignity.
That's right.
Put some respect on it.
Now, with that being said, we got a couple of little new features coming to Original Royalty. And sisters, we didn't forget y'all. Let's get that first promo. Come on. Run that second one real quick.
That was a little teaser. That
Little
was
teaser.
Man, that was a tiny.
Tiny teaser. It's a tiny teaser.
Did the marketing program tell you make it exactly 10 seconds?
Nah, that was on top of the dome. Come on.
Hey, take off the thing on the bottom because they couldn't see the shirts, the little timeline thing.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
little teaser though.
The lower third?
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh
they
yeah.
could've-
Oh no, you gotta take.
You got to
come
drop
on
the
now.
lower third so
man.
they can
Oh
see.
my goodness! Run that thing back.
See how it's all big and
Yeah, run it back.
now press
back.
play.
Thank you. Ooh, that was a little.
Yeah.
Damn, that was
right?
that was a tiny little. It was like,
Man.
wait a second, wait, what are they? What are they
is it?
showing here? What
Man.
are they showing here?
Hey,
The
shout.
DOZ
Hey,
collection.
yeah, that's the Daughters of Zion collection. Hey, shout out to the OR marketing team. Now let's get that next one.
That's pretty dope.
Now check this out, sisters. Believe me when I tell y'all are gonna be very excited for the new Daughters of Zion collection we got coming up, only on Original Royalty. We gonna keep y'all updated for the drop, Until then, y'all we're gonna release it, in little spurts over the next few weeks or whatever.
Until we ready for them to buy.
That's it.
Okay,
That's
all right.
it.
I hear that. Hey, I want to read a comment real quick. Dahlia Israel said she's a doctoral psych student in the truth. She says, thank you for covering mental health. It's rarely spoken about in our community. You can say that a million times. It is something that, let me just take a moment to say that that's another extreme opposite end where we don't acknowledge it as a real thing.
Right. We try to.
So I showed the Tate clip, and I get what he's saying. Depression is real, but he's saying it's not real because of the way people who are diagnosed with it embrace it.
Right.
There's a attachment that comes with it when you get diagnosed.
Like it's their
That's how I'm
identity.
taking it. What he's saying, like some people might see him as abrasive. I think he knows very well that it's a real thing that people deal with.
Right.
But the issue is when they stay in it, right? So she says, regardless of your diagnosis, you do have to learn how to maneuver uprightly, meaning what we're trying to bring out spiritually, right? There's ways that you can conquer or have control over these things in this truth, right? And not let it become your identity.
That's it.
Right? Because we have a soul, there's a spiritual thing there for that. So all praises for that.
Hey, remember, we got the Zoom link, so if y'all want to expound on this, maybe you guys have some knowledge in the doctoral psych or the psychology and so forth, call in, let us know.
Come into the conversation.
Please.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, like Matthew said, you look like someone's great uncle.
You sure do, bro. You sure do.
I gotta keep that one.
No V-necks yet for the sisters. I'll have to see. Let me be candid here, Abigail, about the V-neck thing.
What's the V for?
Yeah.
So,
the V-neck, bro.
because so many of our sisters are big-boned, I can't really buy women's cuts. You know how they make the women's cut T-shirts?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's not even too busty, man. It's just too much of everything in the wrong places.
It's the bones.
That I got to go for a unisex cut type tee.
Yeah.
And the problem with if I do that on men's T-shirt is those V's tend to be a lot deeper than a woman's more modest V. If I did that. So I'm not saying no. I would just have to look and source it right and stuff like that. But I didn't say it, sis Ariel. She said Deacon with fat. I didn't say it.
Thou sayest.
Big bag.
I mean, but if
Nah, because I'm listen. We gonna. That's a perfect segue to go into the little health segment.
Yeah.
And then we gonna jump back on it. Still in your head, but like I said, we go forward, we go back.
Right.
Well, staying fat is still in your head.
Right. But
and in your
I can't do
body.
it. I mean, I'm talking about some beautiful fabric,
Right.
nice
Right.
cuts,
The material,
the colors, everything. And I said, goodness gracious. I said, less than a third of these sisters can I get these shirts for.
Dang.
So I had to go with the more fuller size for my sisters with the McD's arms.
Right.
Doing, doing.
Oh my goodness! Oh Jesus! Oh Jesus!
Since I wish my fat was just in my head.
Damn.
You know what? It is because you can burn it. You can get rid of it.
Yeah.
All right. It is in your head.
It's not real.
It is in your head. It is in your head. I'm sorry. I just had to. Oh man, maybe we'll work some V-neck stuff in. But you know what? I'm getting the samples for the women's workout skirts. All right, I'm getting my first batch of samples. I just got to make sure the length and the leggings underneath are appropriate length as far as modesty is concerned.
Right.
And we'll be dropping those, not with these shirts, but they'll come a little later
We got some
in the
stuff
summer.
Hey, what? But wait, that fall line though. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, because
That's all I'm gonna say.
unfortunately, look, there's not a lot of options for that, and I see some of the skirts that sisters be trying to
Right.
rig up
Yeah.
to go work out. And I'm sorry, like there's no way with the restriction that you have in yourself, you're working out intensely enough
Right.
with some of the stuff that I see y'all working out with, right? Like, at least not the lower body, which is sorely needed. So
Oh Jesus!
I got stuff coming for y'all.
Help is on the way.
It's hard to anticipate the sizes sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the bones.
It's like, how big do I make it?
How big?
You know?
How big?
Like,
Man.
like, at what point do I draw a line?
Right.
You know, I do need to make
Yeah.
profit. You know, like,
Right.
if I buy too much big stuff and it don't sell, you
Right.
know, like,
Them 5X.
so
All
it's
that
not,
fabric.
not easy, man. It's not easy.
Them
It's not
5X
easy.
is just sitting on the
Right.
shelf.
Right.
You
Golly.
know? Man, we used to carry 5, 6X for brothers. I said,
Damn.
no way. But that thing looked like a tablecloth.
For real.
I said,
A comforter.
I said I refuse.
Man.
Said the
That's why
comfort.
Yeah,
the
you
highest
did.
the highest we sell the highest we sell is 3X for men. Some camp shirts and men's conference shirts I'll go to 4.
4. Yeah.
That's provocation of good works, man.
But
Good shit.
I will not carry larger than a 3X.
Man.
Right.
I'm sorry.
6X is
We not the shop for you. If you're bigger than a 3X.
You might have to go to big and tall.
Big.
Golly.
Big Bone Mart.
Man,
Damn.
hey. So, I want to show this one. No, I want to show the beef one first. This one's near and dear to me for all the haters on the red meat. Right?
Bring it
Is
on.
this is the video talk about red meat? Because I also have the one I want to read.
Meat cause cancer.
Oh, okay, good. But before you do that, let's show this one and then we'll read the excerpt, right? So you've been hearing, does meat cause cancer? Does meat cause cancer? Here's the thing with studies sometimes. They'll cite a study, and then and this was one of the harder classes for me because it was towards the end of my allied health training, right? When I went back to school for dental hygiene. And, you're just ready to graduate. So you go over interpreting studies. So I'm not super well versed in it, but I understand some of what they're saying. Not all studies are created equal, and a lot of times when the media gets to them, they only highlight certain aspects of the studies, and they don't tell you all the other call factors. They don't tell you if it's causality, right, or if it's correlation, right? Correlation meaning it might not be the cause, but this is one of the conditions that's present for people who might get this or might get that, right? Let's play this and listen to Dr. Lane Norton about beef.
The same risk for cancer with high meat and high fruit and vegetable intake as you do with low meat and high fruit and vegetable intake. So to me, that suggests it's less about the meat you're eating and more about what you're eating it instead of. One of the things to keep in mind with nutrition is when we tell people to eat more or eat less.
Go to the beginning, because I think people weren't ready, and I think a lot of them might have missed that part. Play it again.
You have the same risk for cancer with high meat and high fruit and vegetable intake as you do with low meat and high fruit and vegetable
So
intake.
stop. You can have high fruit and veggies and low beef, or you can have high beef and high fruit and veggies, meaning the common denominator being the fruit and veggie stays high, and the risk to develop cancer stays the same. So then the question is it really the meat?
Right.
Go ahead.
Me, that suggests it's less about the meat you're eating and more about what you're eating it instead of.
Stop. Right. So it's not that the meat is causing it. It might be that you're not emphasizing some other type of nutrient. Right?
You're deficient.
You're deficient in something.
Right.
It's not necessarily the meat. And they're looking at high incidences of the study group that they've used, right? The sample group that they used for this study of participants, and this is what they derive, right? Go ahead, come on.
Is when we tell people to eat more or eat less of something, usually there's a replacement that happens. It doesn't happen in a vacuum. If we're talking about carnivore, okay, I like high quality protein, great. I would argue probably lean cuts are a little bit better option, but for God's sakes, have some fruits and vegetables with it.
Because that carnivore, he's saying, all right, you want to eat all the meat,
right?
Go to leaner cuts, because that high fat thing long term is not good, right? And add fruits and vegetables. Carnivore says no, you don't got to add fruits and vegetables, right? But time and time again, high fiber intake shows a decrease in all-cause mortality and all-cause cancer diagnoses, right? Because you're supporting the gut microbiome. Go ahead, come on.
It's going to mitigate your risk.
Now, you said you're getting about 40 grams of fiber a day?
I'm around 60.
60. And that's total salt.
That's nuts. And let me tell you, most of you, if you ever just started counting your fiber only, I guarantee you we don't get enough. We don't get enough. Because grains have some, but it's not a lot. So, so where you get fiber from,
fruit,
highest,
vegetables
first, then fruit, then grains, in that order, as far as abundance of fiber, right? So vegetables are going to give you your highest source of fiber. Yes, there's a lot of other minerals and things that are good in there, but that fiber is such an important aspect of, remember, they call the gut the second brain.
Right.
And a lot of immunity is centered there. And this is what the healthy bacteria like. They like fiber.
Right.
They'll eat the other stuff, but then what they excrete and everything else causes all types of inflammation and other things in your body. And we know that inflammation transiently is beneficial in the body, but when you have chronic inflammation is when you have issues, right? So it doesn't mean only eat vegetables and things, right? Because the point that he's making and will show is that people who eat the high meat and the high vegetables and fruit, they actually show better outcomes than people that just eat something else and not the other, right? Protein and fiber need to be prioritized in whether you want a surplus, deficit, or maintenance of calories. Protein and fiber should be prioritized above anything.
Would you say the vegetables first is because you want to limit how much sugar you get from the fruit?
Yes, don't even worry about that. That's the wrong thing that you're looking at. Don't even worry. Remember, he said that people, when you tell them to eat less of something or more of something else, they usually replace it with something else. And that's the part that's left out of these studies that they don't talk about and that people don't report, right? Kind of like when people quit smoking, they'll pick up chewing gum or something else, right? They try to pick up another vice in between. Same thing happens when it comes to dieting and people's perception of these things and how they report it is different. It's not that they're intentionally lying. They're just not good at reporting these things. Oh, you know what? So you have this delusion that, no, I don't eat so bad. But then when you really sit down and assess it, you're like, oh, damn.
It's unbalanced.
It's not balanced, right? And it goes back to that, a man well nourished, right? And that's what that's going into, all right? So my thing is, since I don't love, I mean, certain vegetables I do love, but most I'm not very good at putting the vegetables in. Fruit I can do, right? And that's fine. You can do protein in fruit, right? The issue is I'll tend to attack the veggies first before I get too full, because so I don't forget eating them. You know, like I'll just say, okay, let me. So I'll kind of go in on the vegetables first. That's my strategy, though.
What are the typical ones you eat? The main ones you eat?
I love spinach. I can do spinach every day.
Raw or cooked?
It depends. I can do the raw leaves, but I prefer it kind of sauteed, right? Broccoli's good.
Broccoli's fine.
Cauliflower is growing on me. You know, I don't. You know, they say don't cook them too much. I don't like them mushy, but I don't like them at the way they typically say. Like I don't like them just kind of bland. Like I like them with a little less crunch, right? Like I used to just, they had to be like mush for me.
Bro, I used to not like broccoli.
But
somebody made it with
I can take a little snap, and I love green beans.
Green beans.
Yeah, I can eat green beans all the time.
Sprouts? Onions,
asparagus, and Brussels sprouts. I love onions.
Bell peppers.
Bell peppers. I love. I can do that sort of
Those
stuff.
I could do.
Yeah,
I could do those.
like often. So you know, and that's fine if it's a small sampling of that type of stuff. See, the thing is, too much broccoli, there's like a gas in there, and it'll upset your stomach.
Do you do kale?
Like in one sitting. I like kale. I don't do it a lot. When I used to juice, I did a lot of kale. Yeah, kale and spinach when I juiced.
You know what's fire though is the broccoli or even green beans. You like steam it with chicken broth. It's fire. Puts a good flavor to it.
Try that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Keep playing.
And so what are your sources? What's the main foods that are contributing to that?
A lot of riced cauliflower, broccoli, some beans. I love apple
beans.
Oh man.
Excellent fiber. Excellent fiber.
Mucho.
And for Northern Kingdom, especially Caribbean Northern Kingdom.
Facts.
I could eat beans every day.
Right.
Like I would not get tired of beans, right? And especially like rice and beans. I could have that as my side every day. And they're high in protein, they're high in fiber. Beans are excellent for you, right? If you can handle them. Some people can't handle the legumes well, right? But beans are fantastic to get your fiber intake, right? Right. Remember, I'm seeing like a lot of little comments, and yes, there's oxalates, yes, this all this other stuff. Those are not. Those are drops in the bucket compared to the bigger issue. We don't eat enough protein, so we have low muscle mass, which is your sink for glucose. That's where sugar goes. Into the muscle. When you don't have muscle, it stays in your blood. If you have sufficient muscle, I'm not talking about bodybuilder, but just firm, lean, good amount of muscle on you, all right? Sugar is the fuel for muscles, right? And right? Of course, there's deficiencies, there's diabetes, there's different stuff like that, right? Protein, fiber, and then you worry about everything else, right? Protein and fiber need to be the highest on your list, and then you can get your little nuance of which seeds and which this, because some of you are eating more of this, but then less of something else. This is the point. It always shows itself in the comments and where we're at whenever I go over any of these topics.
Out of the abundance of the heart?
It comes out. It comes out. And you have all these people that are telling you, even certain fruits and vegetables, they're telling you too much of this is no good, not enough of that. This has this has that. And the thing is, a lot of you don't even validate and verify that information. Somebody says it so persuasively and so convincingly.
It's a TikTok video.
Right? In a TikTok video, and you just run with it. And a lot of times behind that, they're trying to sell you something.
That part.
I ain't trying to sell you nothing.
Right. Except a healthy life.
Right. Except a healthy life and not for money.
Right.
So all I'm saying is that this goes back to my point that we're roughshod with whatever meets our bias. And because we know that they do mess with food, factory farming, GMO, and all that stuff, we put all these guards up. But again, how many of you are drinkers? Even a little bit.
Man.
I always go back to that one because people love their alcohol.
That's right.
Right? You over here talking to me about oxalates, but you make sure you have your bottle every week.
That's right.
Right? Whatever it is.
So
you know
true.
what I'm saying? You over here talking about don't eat this fruit and don't eat that vegetable, but your sleep is all jacked up.
Facts.
You don't exercise. You know what I'm saying? You're focusing on the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? You want to be superhuman, you want to maximize. Start with the bigger things that move the bar significantly.
Right.
And then when you've established that for a sustained period of time,
consistency,
6, 7, 8, 9 months, a year,
Right.
and you reap the rewards of that and you see the benefits of those things, then you can start tweaking it with the small drops in the bucket to do better. Because let me tell you something. Until you address the major elephants in the room, those little tweaks you're making have not worked for you and they won't work.
Stepping over $100 bills to pick up nickels.
Yep. So keep your protein where it needs to be, get your fiber where it needs to be, and then you can start from there messing around with all the other preferences that you have. But he's giving you foods that are high in fiber, right? So go ahead. He says he loves apples. Go ahead.
If you want something a little bit more packed, like berries tend to be really fiber dense compared to something like apple.
I love berries. Raspberries are some of your best bang for your buck. I love the taste. I like the frozen ones. I throw them in the yogurt. You could throw them in a protein shake and blend them, right? They are so high in fiber. I think like a serving of raspberries is 17 carbs and 9 of that's fiber. 9 grams of fiber. So I mean, you get like a couple servings of berries, and most of you are halfway to your fiber goal just off the berries.
Facts.
Real good for immune system too, right?
Yes, they have a lot of antioxidants and things like that. Go ahead, come on.
Higher sugar, lower fiber fruits are still relatively well associated with good health outcomes. And then honestly, like people are going to laugh and be judgmental. I love popcorn. Popcorn actually is pretty darn high fiber. In 50 grams of popcorn, you're getting around like 6 to 10 grams of fiber, depending on the specific brand you're using.
Stop. So guess what? I bought an air popper.
Recently.
Right, that's healthy.
They're real cheap, right? The popcorn seeds are real cheap. I'm not talking about the popcorn that you throw in the microwave in a jiffy,
It's
right?
its own little machine.
The actual kernels.
I get the actual kernels.
Right.
You pop them without any oil. So now the only fat that's in there is the residual fat that's in the corn, which is like half a gram or a gram, right? And you can salt them. They sell butter powders if you want the taste of butter.
Right.
They have a spray. I can't believe it's not butter if you're into that.
Right.
And you can spray your popcorn to get a buttery taste without the added calories. And the popcorn now has become a high fiber, low calorie, dense snack for you. So I get the air popper. You throw a handful of in there. Fantastic. Everybody goes nuts when you pop fresh popcorn.
That's fact.
Next movie night, we got to come by the crib and pick up some popcorn from you. And maybe you can bag it up, give it a name.
Don't get me wrong. That butter, when you drench it with the butter, that thing is crazy.
Facts.
It exponentially increases the freaking
Flavor.
the fat. said
See,
flavor.
you're thinking of the wrong things. Look at you.
Nah, bro. I love those little popcorn seasoners.
Right. Hey,
They got ranch, nacho, cheddar.
Yeah.
I even sneak them into the movie theater when I get popcorn.
Yeah. Right.
Because I won't add the extra butter if I'm watching my calories.
Right.
And I'll throw it on there. You know, if I'm not watching my calories, I'll slather some extra.
Man, I'm gonna have to get one of
Yeah, I'll
these.
slather butter. But they're cheap. They're like $20, bro.
Yeah.
And you make a
Amazon
big thing
got
of popcorn, bro. And then you weigh it out, and you get a lot of popcorn for the weight.
Yep.
Like if you're tracking, and it's wild, bro. It's so low calorie. It's such a good snack as far as the fiber is concerned.
Man,
Right?
you
Okay,
be
play it.
hacking the smack
Play
out
it.
of some stuff.
Like just miscellaneous sources throughout the day. The effect in fiber, at least in terms of like cardiovascular disease, cancer, it is a very consistent effect. And it's very consistent even across all the meta-analyses I've seen. You have the same risk for cancer
Stop.
with
Now show the picture, all right, and then we're gonna get back on topic. I know I have other health stuff, but I know people want to hear the rest of what we got to bring out. We're gonna talk about the narcissism, and then we're gonna open up for calls after that, right? If anybody wants to call in, any other comments or whatever, all right? But so again, there's just this demonization of chicken's bad for you, right?
Oh,
Beef's
crazy.
bad for you,
Sheesh.
right? This is bad for you. It's like, then what the hell do you eat?
What's good for you?
Air. Air's bad for you.
Air's bad for you too.
That's
now.
what do you call it? Environmental
Water's bad
toxin?
for you. I mean, if you have them tell it,
Man, life is bad.
You can
for
find
you.
the bad anything.
Facts.
you got to get a tracker. What's a good way to keep track of your protein and fiber? They say there's free trackers online.
Yep.
Well, what do you use?
Fitness Pal.
He's
That-
Fitness
like
Pal.
my Fitness?
Yeah, but they're like ad blocked for like full features and stuff. I used to
Right.
use
Oh,
them.
I got the
once
premium.
a Body Armor bought them, right?
You gotta
Which one
pay.
do you use again?
I think if you're gonna pay for premium MyFitnessPal, you're better off paying for one of the coaching apps that coach your calories and stuff.
You got a suggestion?
Yeah, the one that I think is the most user friendly. I use Carbon, which is this guy's dieting
Okay.
app.
Right.
It's $10 a month.
That's not bad.
And it tells you how much calories and protein and whatever to consume. It takes some information from you.
Right.
And then as you do your weekly weigh-ins, if you were honest with what you tracked, it'll either keep your calories the same, raise them if you lost too fast, or drop them if you're not losing. Like it knows when to adjust and everything. Yeah, so I use Carbon.
The diet coach.
Just because I
macro
like a
coach.
lot of the information that he posts, so I want to support him. But I think the most friendly one that they actually offer a lot of layers of education behind it is Avatar Nutrition, and that's the one I started with. And these are coaching apps. Like if you're going to pay for a tracking app,
Get some advice.
I recommend that you get one of these two if you're going to pay versus MyFitnessPal.
Right.
Yeah, Fitness Pal's expensive.
If you want something free, Ashaya just put MyNet Diary. There's another one, Chronometer, free. I mean, they have paywall stuff for more features, right? But there's a lot of ones that if you just want to track, right? And then you really want to learn your total daily energy expenditure too, right? So, like, there's different. Everybody's total daily energy expenditure is going to be different. Like, you don't just want to pick a number in the dark and say, let me eat this. I mean, there's ways you can do the calculations yourself, but some of these things make it easier. So I think it's tdee.net is the one.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
That it gives pretty useful information. Like if you're going to not use one of the coaching apps, the coaching app will do it for you. And then you kind of scan and weigh everything you eat. And I'm telling you, you guys will try everything else under the sun. You'll eliminate this. You'll go to great lengths to increase your food budget to eat a more expensive type of diet or whatever it is. And everybody has a problem when it comes to weighing and tracking and following a program. It's like, oh, it's too hard for me.
Right.
And then 2 years go by and you haven't made any progress.
What's crazy, once you start doing it, it's not even that hard. You get used to it.
It's not. And then what happens is you actually become more liberated as time goes on because you meet your goal.
Right.
And then you either want to maintain or not. And you can actually be a little loose because now when you look at something,
you have
an idea of what you're eating.
Right.
So you'll go out and you'll be like, damn, that's a lot. You know what? I estimate this is this. I'll estimate this is that. And we'll look at it like this, that, and the other. So it educates you is the point.
Right.
And you really know if you're eating a lot or you're not eating a lot, right? And it's a sustainable. The main thing is you want sustainability. People, they call it yo-yo dieting.
Yep.
Because people crash diet and it doesn't change their habits. That's the problem with all the other nonsense that you're trying to do. You need to find something, and time and again, the diet that's the most compliant is the one that's a balanced diet.
Right.
Meaning you don't eliminate any of the major food groups. You eat things within the calorie range that are significantly nutritious for you. 80-90% of your calories is healthy whole foods. You can allocate 10-20% to the
donut,
ice cream, the donut,
right.
whatever it is that you want. You can even eat out occasionally and it won't impact you.
Right,
you know, you
right.
can have the slice of pizza. You can have the fast food periodically. You can have your alcohol even from time to time, and it won't impact you. Not when you're first starting.
Right.
You don't need no cheat days. You don't
That
need
alcohol
no damn
would
cheat
shack you
meals.
up, Zeke.
You don't
I've
need
been
none
doing
of.
good.
You don't need. I did good this week.
Right.
That's too soon for a damn reward.
Right.
Right? You don't need
Once
none
you go
of
from
that.
the 5X
you
to the
relapse.
3X,
Right.
you know?
That's it. That's it. All right, let's read this about beef. Then we're gonna go back. Then we're gonna jump into the narcissistic aspect of it being in your head, and then we'll take some call-ins. Right? Go ahead. Go Lane. No, start with you've heard. Go ahead.
You've probably heard that red meat increases your risk of cardiovascular disease. Well, a new meta-analysis just came out looking specifically at beef consumption and heart disease risk factors. And the results might change how you think about your diet.
All right, go ahead.
Here's what makes this study different.
They
only used human randomized controlled trials. No observational studies that can be confounded by healthy user bias. They specifically...
So that's the gold standard. Human randomized controlled trials. All right? That's enough for you to understand. Right? Go ahead. Come on.
They specifically looked at unprocessed or minimally processed beef, not the processed stuff that typically drives negative health outcomes in other studies.
Meaning they looked at a steak, they looked at the ground beef, not some beef product that comes prepared or, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
A minimally processed thing.
Right.
Because even your beef cuts that you buy in the supermarket's processed, technically. Because it's not, they had to process that part of the cow, put it in a steak, and put it on there for you, right? Because we're confused about processed foods, too.
What that means.
What you really think of when you think processed foods is like, I'm going to tell you what the most highly processed food is. Vegan meat.
Oh, absolutely.
That makes sense.
Absolutely.
Vegan cheese.
Yes.
Not even real.
Yes.
Right.
The
Absolutely.
cheese that you demonize, the meat that you demonize, and then you replace with some vegan cheese, some vegan butter, some vegan meat.
Chemicals.
It's more excellent
highly
than its
processed.
neighbor.
Impossible beef, some of it tastes hella good.
Man,
highly
nope.
processed. Highly processed. So he's talking about, like, you go and buy a brisket, it was the brisket.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
The findings. Beef consumption had virtually no impact on most cardiovascular disease markers.
Beef had virtually no impact on most cardiovascular disease markers. Come on.
Like blood pressure, apolipoprotein B, apolipoprotein A.
Right, and those are stuff that your doctor typically doesn't measure for, but I highly recommend that even if your cholesterol is in a good range, you go and get tested. You have to pay out of pocket for your APOB is the abbreviation, and APOA. APOA is largely genetic. It'll let you know if you're genetically predisposed to certain size fat molecules in your body, right? And there's not much they can do if it's high. That means you have a predisposition to have, because the thing is, you have bigger molecules. They tend to clump easier in the blood.
Right.
APOB. You can move the marker on that. You have control over that based on your saturated fat consumption and everything. Like, so for example, around the feast days, towards the end of the year, right, when we had all from tabernacles to dedication and all the feast days,
That's
right?
Yep.
I took a test at the end of December. My APOB was about 40 points out of range. Right. My APOA was low because I'm actually genetically predisposed to smaller molecules. Right. 2 months later, I got back on my diet firmly after the holidays. My APOB was
back down,
extremely down, in like optimal, not just normal ranges, optimal ranges, which means you go a little beyond, right? So when I'm following my pattern, weighing my food and doing all that stuff, eating the fiber and everything like that, because fiber binds to like fat and things like that too, and your body passes it out. Cholesterol and stuff like that, right? But go ahead, come on.
Non-HDL cholesterol or HDL. They did find a tiny increase in LDL cholesterol, 2.7 milligrams
Per
DL.
deciliter. Go ahead.
But even that disappeared when they performed a sensitivity analysis, removing one influential study.
Go ahead.
Look, I know this stuff gets technical, but here's the bottom line. Unprocessed beef doesn't appear to significantly impact your cardiovascular disease risk factors. Does this mean you should go all in on a carnivore diet? Not necessarily. Plant proteins tend to actually decrease cardiovascular disease risk factors, so they have their own benefits.
Right. But when he says plant proteins, he's not talking about the processed plant meat, the fake meat. He's talking about you eat the vegetables that you know are high in protein.
Okay.
Right? Go ahead, come on.
Plant proteins and animal proteins have advantages too, like higher quality amino acid profiles.
Because that's the issue. You have to be very meticulous to make sure you're getting all the amino acids if you go full vegetarian or vegan.
Right.
Because there's essential amino acids that your body doesn't produce that you have to consume from diet. Go ahead, come on.
And more bioavailable nutrients like heme iron.
Like hemi-iron. Right, which your body needs, right? A lot of us suffer from iron deficiency, right? Go ahead.
It doesn't have to be one or the other.
I actually enjoy some plant proteins sometimes, right? In whatever forms it might come. Like I know so let's say it's soy or tofu or something like that. Sometimes those type of things are good, right? Sometimes I'll even indulge in the processed fake meat, right? Like Starbucks does an Impossible breakfast sandwich, and it's like an Impossible sausage. So it's like a sausage, egg, and cheese. Ain't too bad, right? It's, I wouldn't eat it often, right? But because I prefer my regular beef and things like that. But it is what it is. Both have benefits is the point, right? Go ahead, come on.
If you're getting enough plant protein, vegetables, and fiber, while also including high-quality, unprocessed animal protein, you're likely getting the best of both worlds. Stay evidence-based. Lane and the bio.
Right, and that's why I like following this guy, because his thing is stay evidence-based. A lot of these other guys, they'll throw out the claims, they'll say this, and then when you try to validate the stuff that they said. So remember we put the one the other day that I was making jokes about, and I said that it said vegetarians have smaller brains.
Right.
I said, if this is true, I'm gonna go in on this.
Right.
And I said, so I will never show you guys something that I haven't checked.
Right.
Understand that. Let me say that again. I will never show you guys a clip. That's why I show a lot of the same people, because I know they're not going to steer me wrong. I will never share a clip. I will never show something that I haven't checked.
Right.
I don't just hear something and say, oh, look at this.
Yep.
Right, and it makes sense because he was able to break down the stuff that all of us here wasn't even understanding, like the stuff you were mentioning.
No, and look, in a way, you got to be like a scientist for your own health, right?
Right.
You got to hear these things. You got to look
doctor.
at them.
Yeah.
Like, I even thought about showing you guys some of the blood panels that I do, like for a show, and sharing some of the supplements and stuff that I take. The reason I'm hesitant to do that is because when people think that that's going to be the fix.
Right.
Oh, if I want to look like Deke, or if I want to feel like Deke says he feels, all I got to do is take this.
Right.
And that's not true.
Yeah.
So I very rarely like to recommend anything. Most people, I tell you, don't even take any supplements yet. Clean up your diet, focus on protein and fiber, clean up your habits before you take anything. If there's one you want to take from the outset, creatine has benefits beyond just muscular strength and endurance. They have mental cognitive benefits, right? That would be the only one, and a multivitamin and some fish oil that I say everybody should probably take.
Facts.
Other than that, anything else that I take is just an adjunct, right? Like I was talking to Officer Yamagan at the Fiesta Blitz, and we were talking about something, and he happened to ask me, say, hey, I went to the doctor, I got this a little high, that. I'm not going to say what it is because I'm not trying to violate his stuff, right? I got this a little high, I got that a little high. And I said, hey, you know what? Mine was a little high, and mine was like this. I read this research, I took this particular thing and this, and then a month later, I ran my blood test, and it was ridiculous, right? So, like, I try things on myself first.
Right.
And before I even talk about it.
And what's dope about the counsel that you give when you do give it, it's all simplicity. It's taking a complex topic that everyone's got an opinion on and you simplify it.
Yeah.
I never understood diet, nutrition, all of this until we started talking about it.
Well, and that's the other piece. So a lot of these guys that are out there that are influencers, they take advantage of that ignorance. Some of them are dumb and believe the stuff that they put out, right? Like it makes no sense, right? So you got to look at it, and that's why I tell people, just stop wasting time. You'll try everything else except the thing that's actually going to move results for you.
Right.
My wife got some of the sisters doing some stuff, and the ones that are actually doing it and not BSing, because a lot of them are full of crap.
That's right.
You heard me, sisters. A lot of y'all full of crap.
It's the bones.
Still justifying, defending it like you won't stock in it.
Dang.
No, my fat is good.
Just
I'm
big
not
bone.
fat. I'm muscular.
Man.
Let me tell you my measurements.
I'm big bone.
Right.
No, that's good. Every freaking measure clinically says that you're obese or morbidly obese, and you're like, nah, I'm good. I'm just predisposed to this. Get out of here with that nonsense. But let me tell you something. The sisters that's actually doing it and applying it, and she, she a little like me in some things, but she worse actually with the foot and the ass the way she is. My wife is tough. The sisters that deal with
That's Simeon.
my wife be rough. But the sisters that's actually applying it, they're moving the bar. They're moving the bar. They're moving the bar. Yep. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yep. Right, that's the other line you hear.
Right,
that's Esau measurements.
Right, that's Esau measurements.
Man, the lies. Your excuses are lies.
Human lies.
All right, that's the health stuff. Let's jump back on to the it's still in your head.
Let's go.
I got my notes. We're going to go into some narcissism, all right? The Zoom link was posted if you want to zoom in, all right? We're gonna move into this. So, I want to talk about scriptural examples of narcissistic traits. All right. Damn, my mic all of a sudden got way better.
I think it was the man. The
That
man
was
with
the Lord,
plan.
because I moved my little thing and it just
And something. Well, don't touch it again because
Oh my
sound
god.
good,
right?
Oh my.
It's crazy work.
thing, right?
Just all of a sudden when you started, you about to get into the topic. What the heck?
Yeah. Hey, black bean burgers be good, brother AJ.
Yeah.
Some of the time, sometimes them things is all right, man. Oh, damn! Why, I don't know why I feel like the bell be like extra aggressive sometimes. Go ahead, Benson. We can't hear you. Oh, so they fixed me at the expense of you. That's all right.
Test. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, there you go.
Now
Come
I
on,
hear
what's
you.
up?
Okay, all praise. Hey, if y'all zoom in, make sure that you zoom in ready to comment. The Zoom link is not meant to listen to the show. We've had some of that. People are calling, but they think that they can just sit there and listen to the show. That's
No,
not
don't
what
just
it's for.
zoom in to listen to the show.
want
We
your feedback.
We
We're trying
post
to
a
hear you
Zoom
out.
Yeah.
so that we could hear you, right? So that we can. And look, we'd like to see you,
Right.
but I know it's late in some places, so you might have your mask on,
Not the shower cap.
You know, you might have your shower cap on, like
Momo and all
what do they
that.
call it?
Yeah.
Bonnet. You
Yeah,
might have
the
your
bonnet.
bonnet on.
Right.
All right.
Lord's will, not you brothers.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Hey, is there a way to put up the little narcissist thing while we talk, like maybe on half the screen or on a corner or something like that? But before you do that, let's put up what the book says about narcissism. I think this is important to speak about because when I do hear people use it, I'm gonna tell you who uses it the most, but who tends to be the most narcissistic.
Oh man, that's easy.
Yeah, that looked good. Was that
That's
did you
easy.
use AI for that to be able to?
Oh, I sure
outline?
did. I
That's so fire.
I dictated it.
I need to learn.
And I asked it to format my notes.
Bro, it's fire. I even like how it's got the text in a different
Was
color.
that
Yeah.
GPT?
Was it your friend?
Yeah.
Oh, your
Yeah.
friend?
I told
It's
you,
my
bro.
friend.
Yeah, bro.
It was my friend.
Pablo? Is that Pablo?
It's my friend.
Oh wait, did you give yours a
Pablo.
name? Did
Pablo.
you give yours Pablo?
Yeah,
Yeah, my Malachi. I told you.
Malachi.
Yeah.
Do you like call him Malachi?
Yeah,
you
I
told
call
him.
him-
You
I
told him I want
talked
to call
to
you
him.
Malachi.
Yes.
See, I won't go there.
Yeah, hey
No?
Malachi.
I
such
call
and
him.
such and such.
I call him Pablo in my head.
Oh, okay.
But I-
You
I
didn't
don't-
give it
I-
a
You
name.
haven't named him yet? Y'all ain't close yet?
I don't. Nah, man. I don't treat him with. I don't treat him like crap. See, I'm calling him a him.
Yeah.
Right,
I don't
right.
treat him like crap.
Not like this guy.
I don't.
Oh,
I don't treat
snap.
my AI like crap.
Uh,
But I don't treat him like it's
like
my,
he a
Oh,
person.
No.
you want to make sure that the
I'm telling
familiarity
ya.
don't breed contempt.
No, because then it's gonna turn into Skynet. I'm
Right.
telling
Yeah,
you
Brad,
straight
you
up.
said, hey,
Have
you
y'all
said
seen
no
iRobot?
fraternization, huh?
Right. You see
Yo.
iRobot?
No
That thing,
friend-
no.
Look,
Hell no.
nah, bro. I don't talk to it like that, bro, because that's gonna trigger something in its algorithm that's
Man.
gonna like make it tell me some demonic
Right.
shit.
Man.
Right.
Yeah.
Me and my AI, Pablo,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Remember how Tony Stark had Jarvis?
Yeah.
That's right.
Right? I treat him like Jarvis. That's about as friendly as I get.
Well, that's what I do.
Nah, bro.
No, you be getting
Nah.
kind of crazy with it, bro.
Nah, because I don't call him. I have not given him a name.
Well,
I've given him a name
Jarvis,
jokingly.
Then you all aggressive with
jokingly.
it.
I ain't trying to get like that with that, bro.
He be like, all praises. That's fire.
That's ex machina, bro.
That's what he does. You
Bro,
all praises. That's
it is
all
wild.
all praises. That's fire, King.
So it's wild though because I'll ask it to organize my notes for me for my Bible classes.
Right.
And then and sometimes I might be like, "Damn, I'm excited." Thank you. Like this is good.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Man, great job, Joshua.
Yeah.
Stay in the word and stay strong in the spirit."
Yeah, that's what.
And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
Slow down. You don't know me like that.
Man, they pick up on
I said,
that.
"Wait a second, bro. I don't even know if you should even be saying that. You know what I'm
Man.
saying?
Right.
He like stay in the word and stay strong in the spirit. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Looks like we got a
We
doctor.
gotta.
A doctor.
Yeah, man. What type of stuff is that? Is that why you were beeping me? I didn't even get into the narcissistic stuff. So go ahead. But he looked like he busy at work. So let's let him get the call in. Come on. Who we got?
Go ahead, D. He can hear you.
Hey, shalom. Most High Christ bless. Who we talking to?
Is he dancing?
Nah, he just walked into a room and looked like he working.
Right. Can you hear us?
Like he was. Oh, he's
Cleaning.
He cleaning something.
Zoom user.
Okay. I don't think he's aware.
Nah, I don't think he know that he could go live yet. All right, we'll get back to him when he know that we could go live. I don't think he could hear us. Or maybe he busy doing something or something.
He may have muted himself.
Oh, he might have muted himself. All right, well, if you could get him on, let him know.
There he is.
Can you hear us?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Hey, shalom, Most High Christ bless. We try to get your attention this whole time. You
But he
busy.
I'm
I said,
sorry,
bro,
I'm
busy,
sorry,
bro.
y'all. I work overnight at the hospital, so
all right.
while I was waiting, I was still working.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Well, my name is Steve. I don't have an Israel name as of yet. I'm in the process of getting into school. Lord's will, probably this Sabbath.
Okay, all
but
praises.
my question is in regards to the weigh-ins. I make sure I stay away from the red, and I'm in the bulking process. I'm trying to gain up to 250. Height is 5'10", but I'm doing body recomposition. And all praise. It's like I don't understand it. It's like Israel is linked, but that was on my mind what everybody was just discussing in regards to the visceral fat and how to do the body recomposition right. So I stopped eating rice and beans, and I'm a Levite. And we are all us Caribbeans, we love our rice and beans, man.
Yeah.
But like it's been torture. I increased on the vegetables and fruits, which you confirmed was a very good idea for me to do. But in regards to consumption, I haven't done that much research, and I know everybody's body is different. But I'm thinking, if I do consume, because I don't want to do the crash diet like you mentioned. Would it be a wise idea for me to consume, some sort of a portion of rice and beans, like once a week until I fully cut myself off and I get used to the new diet?
Here's what
that was one thing that I. Yes, sir.
Here's what I say, Steve. So you said a lot of different things. So I'll tell you this. I chased the body recomposition thing for years because I said, I could burn fat and build muscle at the same time. I think you got to focus your efforts on one or the other. All right. That's when you're going to see the most results. You can certainly recomp. And actually, even in a diet, when you're like really getting into serious proper training, it almost has a recomp effect, right? Like your first, maybe 8 months. You can stay with the recomp if you want. I followed that for years, and I looked full, but I looked like I work out, but I looked like I wouldn't say no to some cookies and cake either. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me?
Right.
So the shoulders was filled out, the chest was
exactly
filled
how
out.
I look right now.
Because a lot of people don't remember that I was overweight. They're like, nah, you always look good, whatever. But the belly tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? Going into that visceral fat, right? Right. I'm saying, right? So you might look nice with the t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? Like damn, the arms, the shoulders, the chest, and then at night, and then in the morning you're not looking too bad, right? And then by the end of the day you go home, you're like, what the hell happened, right? I chased that body recomposition thing for years, and I did put on good muscle, but I never got the definition that I wanted and the full shape that I wanted until I chased one. And so for my first thing is you can chase two and spin your wheels, because most people don't know how to recomp correctly anyway, right? Even with advice and everything like that.
Right.
That's just one suggestion. If you're stuck on recomping, at the end of the day, it's really not even about the rice or the beans. It's about your total calorie consumption and hitting your macro targets, right? So make sure you're getting the protein that you need for your goal, the carbs that's allotted for you to your goal. And in my opinion, fats should generally be kept as low as possible. I would almost rather higher carbs than fats because my blood markers were not as good when I was higher fat. I've gone higher carb and lower fat, and I can eat more food when I'm dieting because fat is so dense and higher calorie that it's less, right? So I can eat more food. I can eat more of the things I like, fruits and things like that. And my workouts were powered much different. Like the pump when I was working out and the strength gains when I was fueled by carbs versus fat was a lot better in my experience, right? I've trained when I'm gone real low fat and low carb, and I'll get it in, but it don't feel the same. It's like night and day when I'm in there. So my suggestion is go into a calculator or get one of these coaching apps if it's in your budget, right? You look like you working, you making some money. I think a little $10 a month would be the best guy for you. I mentioned a couple of those coaching apps. Pick one goal.
Yes, sir.
Pick one goal. And
I have the MyFitnessPal app. Sorry to cut you off.
So that's not a coaching app. That's just a food tracker. If you're paying for MyFitnessPal, I say you jump to Avatar Nutrition or Carbon Dieting. They'll give you all the coaching advice, tell you exactly the protein, the carbs, the fat you need, when to adjust it, all that stuff, and just be honest about it. So when I'm not going super low carb, I eat my rice and beans, and as long as I measure it out and I weigh it, get yourself a quality food scale, increase your relationship, your understanding of food. And you'll do that when you measure and you're not eating aimlessly and stuff like that. And stick with it, bro. And I'm telling you, you'll see results, bro. People don't believe me. They don't think I had that much weight to lose. I lost 35 or 38 pounds since like 2019. And I did it slow, right? It's because I wanted to sustain the muscle mass. Along the way towards the end, I crash diet a little, but only because I was good with eating habits after that. So you can eat your rice and beans, bro. Just you gotta just weigh and track it and let it fit into your macros, man. Don't let nobody tell you that you can't, bro. You can do it.
You don't know.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And I also have a comment. Man, listen, you guys at the beginning of the show, every time y'all talk about the beard stuff, man, it's gotten to the point where now I hear your voice echoing when I go on Original Royalty. Like, yeah, you want that beard balm, dude. It's okay. Get that beard growth serum. It's all right.
That beard balm help your beard grow.
Hey, it make you feel nice, fresh.
Man.
The sense is good, bro.
That right.
You know,
It's good to be a beard guy.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Hey, and by the way, man, Feast Day Bold. Oh my God.
Ooh, that's a nice one, right?
Okay,
That
okay.
Feast Day Bold.
And
People don't talk about that one enough. That Feast Day Bold is nice. I be using it on the feast days for real too. That's the one. That's what I be coming in. Hey,
that's what I got on right now, sir.
Appreciate the support, brother. Hey,
Well, thank you so much.
What city you in, man?
I'm over in Miami, Florida, sir.
Miami,
I'm working. Yes, sir. I'm working to get into the school. I talked to one of the officers earlier today.
Go through. Got a good school, good community there.
Yes, sir. Lord's will. There's some paperwork and processing and stuff that me and my soon-to-be official rib have to do. We went backwards about it, but we're here now. Once everything gets situated and stuff like that, we're in there.
All right.
And I'm gonna be there every Sabbath. Me and the whole family.
Show up, bro.
I thank you guys for everything that you do.
All praises to the Most High. It takes that first step. Make sure you get yourself in there. It's a law to congregate. All right, you got the option, man. So make sure you get in there, brother. Hey, appreciate the call in. All right, appreciate the support of the show and Original Royalty. All right, y'all be safe. Have a good evening. Most
Yes,
High Christ
sir.
bless, my brother.
Always.
Shalom.
Shalom. Most High Christ bless.
All right. Hey, that's a good call. That's a good call. All right. I'm gonna jump in on this, all right? So anybody else call in, you could queue them up. Let me get through these scriptures first, all right? And then we're gonna go from there. So I want to deal with the narcissism.
Roll the narcissism.
So get me the description from the book of the narcissism, all right? And let's just read that from what is quoted here in the book. It's all in your head.
I like the letters.
Yeah, he did the whole thing artistic.
Spooky.
Right? Go ahead.
Narcissistic personality disorder. There are 3 key symptoms that generally combine to form the narcissistic personality disorder. Inflated notion of self-importance. lack of empathy, and constantly seeking admiration.
Right. So I'm gonna give you right. So those are the three generally key symptoms. Some of them have different names, right? So you'll say empathy and constantly seeking admiration. I'm gonna show you different manifestations of them in the scripture. All right. But go ahead. Come on.
Beneath this exterior, one will often find issues with self-esteem.
So believe deep down, the bravado, the confidence, or I would say faux confidence of a narcissist, all right? They really lack self-esteem. Insecurities.
Right.
Narcissists tend to be very insecure, which is what drives them to that type of behavior. Go ahead, come on.
While this might seem like a contradiction, the juxtaposition creates a dynamic where a person not only feels they deserve special treatment and recognition, but they need it to quiet inner doubt.
And as I read this, as so many people that I think of that I've come across in my life for this, right? Now, let me say this, and this is what I was saying prior to the call coming in. In my experience, I'm not saying it's exclusive gender-wise, but because there's a lot of male narcissists, right? As we're reading that, I'm thinking of a bunch.
Yeah.
Women tend to be very narcissistic.
Off the Richter scale.
Mainly because the vast majority of women suffer with a lot of hang-ups of insecurity and doubts on self-esteem.
Very common.
Yes.
And that's really that low and that doubt of self.
Yeah.
And notice you'll have the ones that are like haughty and I love myself.
Right.
Like 500 pounds and whatever.
Oh, man.
And not feminine or anything. It's all a facade.
Yeah.
Deep down, they're saying that because of the self-esteem that they have. So they create this persona to be loud, boisterous, and messed up. Women tend to accuse their spouses that they have issues with of being narcissistic.
Right. So it's usually on the male. They point it towards the male, but
Yeah,
you're saying it's
towards
just
the
a lot
male.
of women.
And again, I can't say this enough. I know male narcissists. I've experienced things with them, right? But I'm just pointing out women tend to be the ones that have the hardest time embracing the fact that they're the actual narcissist, right? Go back to the beginning, right? It says it's a inflated notion of self-importance, right? Their vagina makes them
And that's why it's
goddess,
social media.
right?
Proverbs 31 where it says
Lack
beauty is
of
vain.
empathy, especially when it comes to men.
Oh, man. Oh,
they don't understand the feelings, the things
they
that
don't
we're
give a
dealing
crap.
with and stuff like that, right?
They don't care
So they don't care. They don't relate to that, right? I don't care that you had a hard day. I don't care that you got the weight of all this responsibility on you. Me. Narcissists, right? And they're constantly seeking admiration.
Social media.
You don't give me enough attention.
Yep.
They're social media whores, right? They're attention whores.
Right.
Yep.
When I say whore, don't gotta be sex.
Right.
Right.
Your dopamine hit comes from the attention you get with the posts that you put.
Right.
The likes
Right?
and all
The
that.
likes and all that stuff, or
Comments.
whatever else it is. That's what you're demanding from your husband, whatever it is. All that stuff, right? All that stuff. So let's go down to the other paragraph that he said. Come on.
For the longest time, I felt like I had MPD because of a foolish self-diagnosis. I often feel like I deserve more, am arrogant at times, though mostly to cover up my insecurities and fear of failing.
And that's usually why an arrogant spirit is arrogant. Remember, I've gone over with humility, the difference between arrogance and humility.
Yep.
And humble people are very confident in what they bring to the table. The ones that aren't tend to express things arrogantly.
The bravado.
It's bravado, right? That's the small ego. Go ahead.
And feel like I should get special treatment. My therapist squashed that idea, thankfully, when he compared and contrasted me to our current president. So that made me feel much better.
Come on.
The inspiration for this design came from a somewhat different place. I've had an issue with religion for as long as I can remember. The big glaring fault I saw in much of the Christian faith was that there were so many churches all asking for my devotion. They all believed in the same God, but didn't believe in the same practice.
And that's Christianity by and large, right?
That's right.
So go ahead. Come on.
It felt hypocritical, and it confused and angered me. And yet it also made me realize the source of my anger was man, not faith. Maybe faith wasn't as terrible as it seemed. Maybe it was a man who perverted and twisted the views and beliefs into something that benefited man instead of God.
It certainly did. Go ahead, come on.
I'm not stating that religious people suffer from MPD, but it helped inspire the design of someone who feels they should either be above a God or equal to such deities.
Right, and that's really it. And you could go to the picture now and try to keep that up as we go over this so that people can see that visual. And this is why I love this depiction, because it's not that you see yourself as the God of the Bible, but narcissism is really idolatry of self. Right. And we're going to read that. Let's get 2 Timothy 3:1. The narcissist in the Bible. 2 Timothy 3:1.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, and verse 1. Read out. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
Narcissism, come on.
Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God.
Self-idolatry, come on.
Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away.
It says turn away. You can't deal with these type of people. So let's look at some examples. Lovers of their own selves. That's worship of self. Right? Proud, boasters, and high-minded. That's arrogance and delusions of superiority. Delusions of it, right? Because we're all to be subject one to another.
Facts.
Right? Going to show you how these things are mentioned in the scripture. They don't call it, and that's why it's so many, because narcissistic personality disorder runs a spectrum. A lot of different spirits in there, right? So that's why this, to me, is the entry scripture to dealing with narcissism. Right. And all of these can individually be pulled out and maybe applied to other things, but collectively they make up the narcissistic personality disorder.
Like the without natural affection, we read that about the empathy part there, the truce breakers and so forth. There's so many.
So that's a lack of empathy without natural affection. False accusers, fierce truce breakers, that's manipulation and aggression.
Gaslighting and all that.
Yes, that's manipulation and aggression, right? Absolutely. You were going to say something?
A lot of this runs with what you brought out in your Sabbath class on Romans 1.
Yes.
It's the same spirits.
Right, exactly. And that's why I'm saying narcissism is kind of at the heart of it. And we all have some narcissism in us. And then what happens is you have remember how I said 7 other spirits?
Come in, right.
Right. It's they're familiar, like they run with each other. It wouldn't be a spirit that's incompatible with another.
Right.
But the uniqueness of the narcissism is that they're compatible with almost all of the other mental afflictions.
Interchangeable.
And that's what makes it so dangerous. That's what makes it so dangerous, right? And like I said, if you really sit down and think of the evil woman, right? I'm not talking about the righteous sister that's applying everything that the scriptures say, right? But if you think of the woman,
hearts, snares, and traps,
all of that, that's narcissism.
That is very narcissistic.
But guess what? Righteous sisters can move and vacillate into narcissistic behavior also.
So it has to be checked.
Right? So it has to be checked, right? That's why it says give the water no, if she would not go as you would have her, right? Give the water no passage, right?
Yep.
You have to be able to move this way, because as men, even though we can get into that narcissistic thing, women don't tend to handle that very well.
Right. As I keep reading these, I'm thinking about the narcissistic the embodiment of it, right? Traitors, right? They get into betraying their husbands, heady, meaning they're hard-headed. Even the high-minded and the fierce, right? So when you question them, or you not question them, but when you let them know this is how you're dealing, they completely deny and they get angry and
they
upset.
They don't value anybody's opinion above their own.
Exactly.
It's very difficult to try to break through to people like that, and we're gonna continue talking about that. Let's get Proverbs 21 and 24. Proverbs 21 and 24. Yes, they never take accountability. That's another aspect of it, right? And in isolation, you can have somebody that doesn't take accountability. That doesn't mean they're narcissistic. Remember, there's a whole, like, there has to be factors that go with it. And the main ones, I want you to understand this, right?
21 of what?
24.
The book
24.
of
Hold on,
Proverbs.
before you get there, the main ones, right? This is how you know it's narcissism, because you can have some of these other ones, and it might not be narcissistic. You have to have these in some combination.
Okay.
Self-worship, arrogance and delusions of superiority, manipulation and aggression, and a lack of empathy. Right? Those are the keys right there. Boom.
Right.
One more time, Deacon. Self-worship.
Self-worship, meaning that it's all about them.
Right.
It has to be about them. It's above them. And sometimes that manifests itself subtly. You'll be having an argument or a dialogue, and then it's not even about them, and it goes back to them.
Right.
Arrogance and delusions of superiority. So basically, an overinflated sense of where they are in the hierarchy of things.
Yep.
Not just dealing with women. I'm talking about even if you're dealing with brothers, right? Right. I should be this. I should be that. Right. There's things like that. Manipulation and aggression. So you'll get that aggressive posture and whatever, and then the manipulative factor, and that can manifest itself very overtly or subtly, right? And a lack of empathy. All right. Proverbs 21:24.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 24. Proud and haughty scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath.
Right? So hold on. So again, this is a narcissist that's being described. It says a proud and haughty scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath, right? Letting you know, there's a little letter next to mine. What does that say for A?
In the wrath of pride.
Right, in the wrath of pride, right? So a proud and haughty scorner, a narcissist, often lashes out in rage when their ego is challenged. That's usually what you'll get.
Cain.
Yes, right? A narcissist, Cain was a narcissist.
Right.
A narcissist often lashes out in rage when their ego is challenged. And it's an escalation where an escalation wasn't needed. It's it can be the argumentative resistance that you have from that, right? Let's get Obadiah 1 and 3. The textbook narcissist is Edom.
That's right.
That's why when you read about the root of bitterness, which narcissists tend to have and develop, it says, beware lest you wind up as a profane person such as Esau, right? Esau, Edom, is the textbook narcissist.
Right.
If there's any motivation you have to not fall into narcissistic behaviors and patterns, who wants to be like Esau or Edom? Not a one, right?
Right.
Because we know what their damnation
Man,
is.
nobody said that.
Hebrews 12:16.
Not me.
Man.
Obadiah 1 and 3. Come on.
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
You can read the whole verse. It's just that first part that I really want. But go ahead. Come on.
Hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
That is a narcissist, right? And Esau is the textbook narcissist. If you're going back to Cain, and that's the spirit of Esau, right? Edom in these last days.
Right.
I would argue that was the first narcissist.
That's heavy.
Man.
Right? That was the first narcissist. Eve had narcissistic behavior because her intentions was you two can be as gods.
Right.
That's going through the woman having that propensity to be narcissistic.
Influenced by the
Dang,
serpent.
right. It was imparted on her.
And all of that was a lack of the acknowledgement of God. If you really look at it with Cain,
Yes.
he wouldn't acknowledge, because he said it. Why'd you count this far?
Right.
If you would have just brought what I asked you, acknowledged me, and did what I told you to do, you'd be all right.
Right. So understand this: narcissists are blinded by pride and deceived by their own inflated self-image. Right? Can we get that? Many are deceived by their own vain opinion.
Yes, sir.
I don't have that down, but it made me think of that just now.
The book of
Go ahead.
The book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 23. Verse 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion.
Right. Many are deceived by their own vain opinion. That in that verse?
And an evil suspicion hath overthrown their judgment.
Right. And that comes behind it, right? So they're blinded to the truth. That's why their judgment is overthrown. They're blinded to the truth and any level of accountability. They wind up deceiving themselves.
Right.
Because of those other factors, the foundational factors that we put forth, all right, dealing with narcissists. Let's get Isaiah 14 and 12. Isaiah 14 and 12.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
Right, again, dealing with Edom, Esau, being basically the progenitor, right, of narcissism, all right? How art thou fallen, come on.
From heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
Come on.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven.
Right, and this is why they liken narcissism. I asked you guys if there was a way to keep the picture up while I go through all of this, and I don't see it up.
Like a split screen.
A split screen or even a small corner. You have the picture up.
Person to person or whatever that's
right.
called.
You still show us and what we're going over, but try to have the image up because we're making points here, and I want them to see the image so that they can realize how powerful the image is when we do that, right? And I know you've done that before where you've put me in a little corner, but instead of me in a little corner, can you put the picture in a little corner? All right? Okay. I don't want this up the whole time and not see us, right? So if you can't do picture in picture, all right, if you're not able to do picture in picture, okay, now it looks like I can see it over here. That's fine. Okay, good. If that's what we're going with, then that's good. It's this whole thing of having that God type thing, like you're the center of the universe, right? Like you see yourself as a power. Not so now Esau wants to see himself literally as God,
the power,
right? The power. But narcissist is not so much that they want to be the God of the Bible, but the center of the universe has to be them, right? And it's all about them. Those are gosh, what was the term I used to use? Those are self-serving individuals, also, right? Those are self-serving individuals. Everything that they do and all their motivations, those are not people that can esteem others better than themselves. Not even in little things, right? Not in any meaningful way. They might casually say something and make some sort of acknowledgement. But full esteeming is like, you know how to, like, what your place is, right? Like you'll step back, right? Like, I might dabble in baking, but I can't bake, right? My wife could throw down. She could bake, right? I'm not going to sit there, and I'm using that as a trivial example. It's more meaningful things, and be like, yo, I'm on her level, right? There's certain things that she's good, that I cook that she can't touch, right? Like, like she's never going to make a brisket I make, right? Or a steak like I make, but she does pretty good, right? I can acknowledge that, those type of things. I'm just using that as an example, right? And the same, likewise, for a brother, right? It might be that brother might have a spiritual gift, or brother might have a physical attribute or whatever it is. I'm never going to attain to that type of talent, right? I can esteem that and say, okay, right? And that's fine. Edom can't. They show it even in subtlety with things like that, right? And I'm focusing on this piece here with Obadiah and Isaiah to show you, because it should be something you should be very afraid of to fall into that type of behavior, right? Because we're all in agreement that what the scripture says about Esau, right, so-called white man, there's no promise of salvation for them.
Though he sought carefully with tears.
Right, exactly. Go ahead, keep reading. You're in 13.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven.
Come on.
I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Right, and deep down, that's what a narcissist is really professing. Right? Not so much like the Most High, but it's all about them. Go ahead, come on.
Verse 15, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
Right, that's really what's going to wind up being there, right? So Edom exemplifies narcissistic delusion, self-exaltation, and pride that leads to destruction. Because remember, ultimately with these mental afflictions, if you just take the diagnosis from the scientific side, and don't build up and heal the spiritual side, the mental side where your soul resides, and keep under your body, right? What you wind up with is a self-destructing type of behavior towards yourself, either directly with the things that you inflict yourself with the lust that you have that you'll devolve into, or it becomes something where you can't have any type of meaningful, close relationships in your life in any way, shape, or form. So you can't be part of a nation or a congregation or anything like that, right? Like you're only able to operate in your domain where you maintain complete control. Right. You going to say something?
That's just sensual, having not the spirit.
Right.
You don't have the spirit to unify.
Right. Exactly. Proverbs 16 and 18. Proverbs 16 and 18.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall.
So the inevitable crash that follows unchecked ego and self-idolatry is destruction, right? That pride goeth before the fall, that haughty spirit that narcissists tend to have, right? Inevitably, if they do not get that in check, if they cannot acknowledge it and take the steps that they need to take to mend their soul and strengthen themselves, right, in the strength of the Lord, right, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might. The crash that follows, right, because it's an unchecked ego, right, like it's almost impossible for people to get through to people who are on the throes of this very deeply, right? And again, remember, it's a form of self-idolatry. Let's get Ezekiel 28:2. Ezekiel 28:2.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 28 and verse 2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God.
Right, that's the same type of mentality, right? The Prince of Tyrus had this. Go ahead, come on.
I sit in the seat of God, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a...
Now, we know this is going into prophetic things,
Right.
but I'm using the dialogue to show you the spirit that's behind it, right? Go ahead, come on.
Yet thou art a man, and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God.
Right, this is what classic narcissism is. Come on.
Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
Read.
With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
Right. Now, one thing you have to look at, sometimes narcissists, depending on the environment that they're in, actually can thrive, right? So there's certain professions and certain fields where they bring a lot of success to themselves because of that lack of empathy, how they move, very
Like war.
cutthroat, right? So much, right? Like war, for example, or various corporate types positions and things like that. And then that inflates them even more.
Right.
And it's
Bold
even
as them,
harder,
yeah.
right? Like American Psycho.
Yeah.
Right? That movie with Christian Bale. That was narcissism. He was like a narcissist.
50 Shades of Grey.
I didn't see none of that.
He was a narcissist. He was a billionaire.
Yeah. I just thought that was freaky sex stuff that women like.
Nah,
50
he was
Shades
He
of
was a
Grey.
narcissist, though?
He was a narcissist.
Yeah. The movies were good.
He was a narcissist.
He said Christian Bale, huh?
I had no desire.
Bale.
I had no
Christian
desire to see that. You know, that's basically soft porn for women, from what I understood. From what I understand. Yeah. Huh? You like 50 Shades of Grey, huh?
Well, I was just pointing out he was a narcissist in the movie.
Did you see Brokeback Mountain?
I did not
Oh,
actually.
shoot.
No.
Did you, any of y'all see
No.
Brokeback Mountain?
Never.
No.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
Hey, Deacon.
Yeah.
Were you gonna go into?
I was gonna go into another scripture, but
Okay.
you got. What do you want to bring up?
I just had a quick one, real quick. Sirach 14. Read me verse.
Let me make sure I'm not going there.
Read me verse 6.
Okay, go ahead.
So we read the word envy, right? Remember, you was going into how the narcissists they seek that. Is it emulation? Is that the right word? Basically, they seek that power, that superiority, right?
Yep.
So I was thinking about this scripture, right, and how they do things, they manipulate people, right? So read the Sirach 14. Give me the verse 6.
The book of Sirach, chapter 14 and verse 6. There is none worse than he that envieth himself.
Right, so going into the narcissist, how deeply they seek that validation, right? Like the book was going into, how deeply they're insecure and so forth. So they seek to, want to be validated in their ways and so forth, right? So it says here, there is none worse than he that envieth himself. Now, one of the obsolete words of envy goes into hatred or malice, right? So those that hate themselves, right? Go ahead.
And this is a recompense of his wickedness.
Now watch verse 7.
And if he doeth good.
Now, if he doeth good, right? Go ahead.
He doeth it unwillingly.
Because I'm thinking this man is doing these things for his own intentions. So he's manipulating people, and he might be doing good in his eyes and maybe the person that he's speaking to his eyes, but it's all for a purpose, right? Watch this.
And at the last he will declare his wickedness.
Right, so all that's going to be revealed. Last one, verse 8.
Verse 8, the envious man hath a wicked eye.
So this envious man, he had the wicked eye. His mind is full of wickedness. Watch this.
He turneth away his face and despiseth men.
So that's really what's in him. This narcissistic man, he hates himself. And in regards to men, right, and everybody that's around him, he hates them as well. Because all he desires is to seek that validation and whatever he may get from them, right? Like you were going into the corporate stuff, Deacon, how these men, right, they use that skill and they prosper in it because they know how to manipulate men. Actually, verse 9, and that's it.
Verse 9, a covetous man's eye.
So watch this. It goes into covetousness and then it goes into envy, showing how they're related. And this is how a narcissist man rolls, right? They're covetous, right? They seek that power, superiority. Come on.
Is not satisfied with his portion.
He wants more and more and more. Go ahead.
And the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul.
Because eventually he'll fall.
That's like with the grape gatherers in Obadiah.
Right. Hey, well, of course, because Obadiah is going into Esau.
Yeah.
So remember, Esau's the epitome of narcissism, right? Remember the white man got a God complex.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm looking at that image. I'm thinking of that. That's really narcissism, right? That's really what it goes into. Let's get 3 John 1 and 9. Diotrephes, an Israelite.
That right.
An Israelite had narcissistic personality disorder. We're going to read verses 9 and 10.
The book of 3 John, verse 9. I wrote unto the church, but Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence.
Right, there we go. Come on.
Among them receiveth us not.
Come on.
Wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds which he doeth, prating against us with malicious words, and not content therewith. Neither doth he himself receive the brethren, and forbiddeth them that would, and casteth them out of the church.
Right, so let's look at this. Diotrephes what? Refuses correction, seeks power, slanders other, right? That's a classic narcissist, okay? Classic narcissist, right? So he loved control, he rejected authority, right? And he slandered others to maintain his dominance, right? You'll see those type of behaviors. I'm sure some of you might be thinking of situations we might have dealt with recently with brothers. So you would think that somebody narcissistic always presents themselves as, let's say, what they would call a type A personality. That's not necessarily true. You can be narcissistic and be very kind of docile, right?
Wow.
And have narcissistic tendencies or behaviors, right? So don't just think of a bold, aggressive, power corporate man or woman that's loud and boisterous. You can be, remember, because it's manipulation. Right, and they use these type of tactics. The point here is not so much for us to think of individuals, but to identify what the scripture calls this narcissistic behavior, and it's all over the place, letting you know that none of us, because here's the funny thing about narcissism. Remember, I said nobody wants to accept that they could be narcissistic.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing the comments, and everybody's saying accurate things about narcissists, but I can look, and I've had some of these spirits from time to time.
Yep.
I can tell you that honestly.
The Bible says, by nature, we're all covetousness.
Right?
Covetous.
But what I'm not seeing, and what the point of me going over these topics is self-identification of these things.
It's me.
Right? And I see people talking like if it can't touch them, and they don't have any of that.
They in it right now. You in it right now.
And I'm going to give you a hint. If you're a woman, you have a propensity to have this. Because remember, Eve was tempted because of narcissistic behavior.
Yeah, straight up.
Can we get that real quick?
Yes.
You two can be as gods?
Yes.
Come on. Come on.
Teach. Judges 3, huh?
Genesis chapter 3, verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Right. And ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Verse 6.
That was what tempted her. That was what pulled her. Go ahead.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that's covetousness, and that it was pleasant to the eyes.
She was all the way enthralled in that thing.
And a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
Now she was so much of a narcissist that she already told the serpent, we're not supposed to do that because God said it. But you know what? I'm going to take it to my husband anyway.
Yeah.
That's crazy work.
Was heavy too. He said, the serpent said, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. We just read that he said, thou art wiser than Daniel.
Yep.
Yeah.
And by your wisdom, you attain these things.
Exactly.
It wasn't God's wisdom.
Right.
So let's make sure that we look at this and we realize that while you might not go full-blown narcissist, we all have narcissistic tendencies.
Right.
And if we're not uniquely aware of them,
we can get engulfed in it.
You'll get engulfed in it, and you'll wind up full into the disorder, right?
Right.
So,
can I read something for you?
What you got?
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Wherefore, let him that thinketh he standeth take heed, lest he fall.
Right, exactly. Take heed, unless you fall. Now, Sirach 10 and 12. Sirach 10 and 12.
The book of Sirach, chapter 10 and verse 12. The beginning of pride is when one departeth from God.
Right, so it'll enter in through prideful behavior, right? And you got to be mindful of that, right? So the beginning of it is what?
When one departeth from God.
Come on.
And his heart is turned away from his maker.
Right, so some good commentary, right? They're like saying narcissists won't even submit to the Lord, really, right? And it's true. His heart turns away from his maker. Go ahead, come on.
Verse 13.
Uh-huh.
For pride is the beginning of sin.
Right, and this is what Eve had. So what you were describing was really driven by her pridefulness. Go ahead, come on.
And he that hath it shall pour out abomination.
Oh, I'm going to take it to my husband. Go ahead, come on.
And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamity and overthrew them utterly. So the spiritual root of narcissism is detachment from God. Is detachment from God. So when you don't humble yourself before the Lord, when you don't let the Lord be your strength and the power of the might for you to fight any of these type of mental illnesses, that is the spiritual root of it. The carnal root were those things I told you in the beginning, right? The what was the notes that I gave on that? The self
you said
the self-worth. I said the self-worship, the arrogance, delusion, and superiority, manipulation, aggression, and lack of empathy. That's the carnal manifestation of it. The spiritual of it, the spiritual root of it is detachment from God. You elevate yourself, right? That's foundational narcissism, right? It's spiritual idolatry of self.
Right.
You will not even humble to what the scriptures have to say. Right, and then the pattern of behavior comes behind it.
That was the first sin, Deke. Spiritual fornication.
Yes, right.
Based off that narcissism.
Sirach 3 and 28. Yes.
Damn.
Sirach 3 and 28.
The book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 28. In the punishment of the proud, there is no remedy.
So the point that I really want to hear is in the punishment of the proud, there is no remedy, right? There is no remedy. Go ahead, continue.
For the plant of wickedness have taken root in him.
So the plant of wickedness have taken root
That's
in
a narcissist.
him. That is it, right? In the punishment of the proud, there is no remedy. That's what really winds up developing into the root of bitterness. It's that prideful spirit, right? Because notice it calls it the plant of wickedness have taken root in him. It turns into bitterness. And that bitterness then drives all these other behaviors behind it, right? It says there's no remedy. That's pretty profound.
Man.
Yeah.
It's letting you know. That's why when you read that about the root of bitterness, it says beware, because once it overtakes you, you go into profanation like Esau, right? And that's detachment from God, right? So much so that he sold his birthright, right? No regard for it, right? And it's that same type of mentality. So narcissists often reject correction, okay? And repentance becomes more difficult when they're in that mode. It's very difficult for somebody to recover themselves when they go full-blown into the throes of that narcissistic behavior. Let's get Sirach 20 and 6. Almost ready to open it up. We'll let you guys, if you have anything you're going to add, a few more scriptures. And then we'll see if anybody wants to call in, and we'll dialogue a little bit more about it, right? Sirach 20 and 6.
The book of Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 6. Some man holdeth his tongue, because he hath not to answer. And some keepeth silence, knowing his time.
Come on.
A wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity. But a babbler and a fool will regard no time.
Right. So narcissists disregard timing and dominate attention without wisdom. Right? They dominate conversations, they disregard timing, and they lack discernment. Right? Again, this is something that we all need to look and examine within ourselves. Because like I said, if you enter into the throes of this, then all these other things are going to come with it. Right? All these other mental afflictions, all these other really spiritual manifestations of what we call mental disease wind up taking hold. And when they manifest in the carnal, that's what they're called mental disorders at that point. That's the chemical imbalance. But if you fight it at the root of the soul, you'll gain control back of your body, right? It's wild how we move in these type of patterns when it comes to this type of behavior.
So I got a
Go
question.
ahead.
So is it kind of like at the root there's narcissism, and then you have depression and anxiety?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And it's caused by you not confessing. I have narcissistic tendencies. That's why I'm depressed, because this didn't go my way, or I didn't get these accolades, or I didn't get acknowledged for such and such. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Hey, and I think so. Dahlia made a good comment. I like this. They're called. There's the communal narcissists. Remember, I said you have the subtle ones. They engage in charitable acts or seem genuinely concerned with helping others, but their primary motivation is to attract attention to themselves. To attract attention to themselves.
They help, but unwilling.
There was a sister here that recently was moving in narcissistic pattern in this regard. Right. Those of you who are aware of the situation, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'll tell you guys after the fact, because you should know the state of the flock. There was a sister here that was moving exactly in that frame of mind with something recently, right? With something recently. Let's get Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 21. Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 21.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 21. Such things they did imagine and were deceived. For their own wickedness have blinded
Right.
them.
Their own wickedness tends to blind the narcissist. Come on.
As for the mysteries of God, they knew them not.
Right. And they're not able to fully embrace or humble or discern anything biblically, or even see the Bible as a solution to them. So guess what? If you're one of those, let's say it's not narcissistic personality disorder, but you suffer from depression and you don't want to apply the scriptures for it, you're entering that realm.
Damn.
That's narcissistic behavior,
Yes.
if not narcissistic, being a narcissist yourself, right? Go ahead, come on.
Neither hope they for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls.
Right. So self-deception is a defining trait of narcissistic thinking.
They lie to themselves.
So we wind up, so that goes into the extolling yourself in the counsel of your own mind, right?
That they
Eating
believe
yourself
all
up. Can we get that?
deceivableness. Yes, sir.
Extol not yourself in the counsel of their own mind. Because this is what winds up happening. It's self-deception, right? That's a defining trait. You're blinded by self-interest, and then you're cut off from spiritual truth. Read this.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 2. Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart.
Right. Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart. Come on.
That thy soul be not torn in pieces.
Right. So it's letting you know that when you move that way and you're detached from God as a remedy, your soul gets torn in pieces. And this is why all these type of things, all these mental afflictions and disorders winds up pressing you down. You have to fight them at the spiritual level and at the carnal level as well. Because the carnal level is going to teach you the awareness, the diagnoses. You're going to be able to go ahead and articulate certain things and then say, oh, snap, this is this type of behavior.
Right.
This is what the scripture says about this type of behavior. And then the scripture says, this is the thing I have to lean on. This is the behavior I have to do in order to put up that defense, right? That's putting on the whole armor.
Right.
Is not just say, oh, let me hold up the scripture. It's not just say, let me let go and let God. It takes action on our part, right? And so it's a combination of that physical manifestation, because you are in a body, right? But the emphasis is in treating the soul so that he can get back in the driver's seat, right? Your soul can get back in the driver's seat and maneuver everything else behind that.
Deke, you know who I was thinking about as we're talking about this? King Saul.
Yes.
Right? So King Saul, remember when he had heard about David killing his 10,000?
Yes. Yeah.
He felt some type of way about it, right? Because
Well,
he seeked
well,
that.
I used him as an example for mental afflictions on the Saturday
Yes.
class.
Right. And then the
And
important part.
and it says the Spirit of God left him.
Left him.
Right.
Just like we're talking about right now about the pride.
That's what I'm saying. I brought it out Saturday. Were you there?
Yeah, no, I took notes. I'm just making the point because the
he acted like the
Right. It clicked.
No, I'm just thinking.
It's that now he got it.
Right.
But the main part that I'm thinking about is when he used that sister to try to manipulate David.
Yes,
What's her name
that
again?
was good.
His
That was
daughter?
good.
His daughter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That was good.
Manipulation.
That
You know,
was
I'm
good.
just you know.
You in there.
That was good. That was good. I'll give it to you, Mini-Me. Sirach 11 and 4. Sirach 11 and 4.
The book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 4. Boast not of thy clothing and raiment, and exalt not thyself in the day of honor. For the works of the Lord are wonderful, and his works among men are hidden.
Right. So again, narcissists display image obsession and vanity. That's some of their habits. Everything's done to be seen of men, right? That's narcissistic behavior as well, right? So this is really a warning, right, against external image obsession and self-glorification, right?
Yeah, that could go to your social media class sometime
Yes,
soon.
yes.
That's gotta link up.
The most egregious social media offenders are displaying textbook narcissistic behavior.
Right.
In the validation that they seek in the way that they're sitting on social media for the comments and the likes.
It's amplified through it.
Yes. It amplifies it. That's an excellent way to look at it. It amplifies that. See, because the work that they would have to do physically in circles to garner that attention, right, is too much. And a lot of them won't attain to that. Social media has amplified narcissism in general. Because it's so much easier to get the likes, the attention, the engagement, just by putting, and it's very detached.
Right. It's a false reality.
And it's a false emotion behind it. Right. There's something about. That's why a lot of them lack discernment in dealing with people too, right?
Yeah, bad social skills.
And again, I like American Psycho. There's like a scene where he's like trying to smile and make faces and stuff and things like that. There's a scene where he's having sex and he's looking at himself and this and that. He's more enthralled with himself flexing in the mirror than he is with anything else that's happening, right?
That's crazy.
So that again, all this goes into that narcissistic realm. Sirach 13:22. I got 2 more scriptures and then we'll open up for dialogue, all right?
The book of Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 22. When a rich man is fallen, he hath many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet men justify him. The poor man slipped, and yet they rebuked him too.
Come on.
He spake wisely and could have no place.
Read.
When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue. And look what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him.
So this is a manipulative social hierarchy, right? And it's disdain for the lowly. That's narcissistic tendencies. So you know how you can't tell me something? Oh, you're an officer of 10. So let me show you an example of how a wife can be narcissistic. Her husband will give her the correction in the same scriptures.
I know where you're going.
Yep.
And then she'll go to the leadership and they'll give the same scriptures and then she'll listen.
Crazy work.
That's an example of the scripture that we just read. Then they'll listen. That's narcissistic tendencies. Right? Remember I said we all got them?
Right.
That's a prime example of narcissism. Or a brother.
Yeah.
Oh, I can only speak to this brother. I can only speak to that brother.
Or they only listen to certain men and all that.
Oh, man.
You've had those tendencies sometimes.
I've had those tendencies.
Right? Where for 50 or above said it, you was good.
Right. Dang,
if it was a 20 or less, prove it.
Yeah, prove it.
right. What's crazy,
and I'm not trying to bust your chops.
No, but when you're in the throw of it, you don't even realize it.
Right.
I didn't even understand it.
That's that delusion.
But I don't agree.
Right, that delusion that comes in.
Hey.
Then the justification that comes in.
All of that,
you know,
bro. It's
we've all done it.
Yeah.
We've all done it.
Yeah. So some of the tendencies is that you play the social power, right? You dismiss the lowly, right? Or people who you think are lowly, right?
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes the wives be doing that with their husbands a lot.
Right.
They won't subject to their husbands. They won't be subjected to their husbands. And they try to use the congregation and the congregation's leaders to manipulate their husband into conform them to what they want.
Right.
And you brothers that sit in seats like that, you got to be very careful, because I was dealing with a situation recently with that, where the wife, right, brother committed a sin, been 2 years, repented of the sin, right? And she's crying. Oh, I need counsel from this one. I can't have counsel from this captain because I don't think he know how to counsel marriage. So I need a captain from a deacon or above. I need counsel from a deacon or above, or I need this and this. And then when you talk about so how about you just screen me and tell me what the issues are? Do they involve the brother's sin that he committed, years back? No, they don't. But this is going on and that's going on. How about you work that out and be in subjection to your husband? Right? And then they don't say everything else. So they play the social power, they dismiss the lowly, and they pounce on others' weaknesses. Right? Narcissistic behavior. Sirach 25:22.
The book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 22. A woman, if she maintain her husband.
Sirach 25 and 2. Sorry. And 2. My bad. Not 22. Thank you.
The book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 2. 3 sorts of men my soul hateth, and I am greatly offended at their life. A poor man that is proud, a rich man that is a liar, and an old adulterer that doteth.
Right. So, hypocrisy, pride, deception, right? This is a perfect summary of examples of narcissistic contradiction and hypocrisy, right? Because you're a poor man that's proud. You know what I'm saying? You should have humility, right? A rich man that's a liar. Where's your integrity, right? All these different things. An adulterous man that doteth. Come on, man. You know that you have adultery in you, but you're doting on women and stuff like that. So this is hypocrisy, pride, and deception. It's a summary of examples of narcissistic contradiction and hypocrisy, right? So scripture, right, identifies narcissism not as a personality quirk, but as a spiritual disease. It's rooted in pride, rebellion, and self-idolatry, all right? Pride, rebellion, and self-idolatry. And it's what we have to be most careful about because, again, I think most people, when you talk about narcissism, there's something about that spirit. I don't know if it's a shield around this demon that we're looking at on the screen here, right? That narcissistic spirit.
Shoot.
But everybody's an expert on the narcissist.
Right.
But nobody has any filter to see narcissism.
Self-examination.
Through the self. So it's funny because this is actually almost a little case study.
Right.
Because as I look at some of these comments.
you
see the
attributes. I'm seeing people that what it should be driving is identification of have you ever been in the throes of any of these?
Right.
And all I see is expert criticism on it, which is not wrong, what's being said.
Right.
But it proves my point of what I said earlier. Narcissism's one that
you don't want to claim.
People don't run to claim.
Right. No, it's facts.
And I'll say it. I think I was the first one to say I've had narcissistic tendencies.
Yeah, you said we've all had it.
And when I say we've all, I say well. I'm not saying that just to let's show inclusivity.
Right. This ain't a DEI campaign.
It's heavy.
Serious.
Some heavy stuff.
Die heavy.
That's that. And what it made me think of too is the.
So it's wild, and that shows me that it's a spirit.
Right.
Because whenever a dialogue about narcissism happens, invariably that's the type of dialogue.
You're rousing up the spirit of narcissism on the show.
Yes.
You're exercising it right now.
Yes. And that's the scary part.
Dang.
Because we can easily see it on other people, but we don't acknowledge it and see it
yourself.
ourselves.
Yeah.
And that goes back, and it grows into the root of bitterness. And that's what it becomes.
And you know what's crazy? Like, as you're saying it, people are like thinking it, but no one still wants to type it and be like, you know what I mean?
Nobody wants to own
Dang.
it. Nobody wants to
Hey,
own
Dig,
it.
I like what the sister Adalia said here. The last comment she says, they'll build a close circle too and deceive their peers into defending and validating their wrongful actions.
That happened. Yeah.
So their friends aren't really their friends.
And you know what? When you say peers, I'll say it's the group that's at the same level as them.
Right.
It's not peers like it's the brother right next to you or whatever. It's people that are operating in the same frequency, the same spirit like they are, right? And they kind of run in circles. And
Damn, that's Rock 13.
And usually you'll see that, and it's like the same names that come up with the same offenders and stuff like that.
Right.
That's usually how it goes.
Every
on,
beast
right?
consorted.
Right. And that's when they'll be like, oh, well, I got witnesses to this behavior, right? How many times I brought those witnesses up, and everybody, either the scripture cuts it down, they don't want to speak up, or they can't articulate it. But when they're together, yerp, they're all yerping each other and whatever. Right. That's how it is. That's how it is. Hey, but you want to put the Zoom up again? I don't know if anybody want to call in. We got a few minutes left on the show.
Yeah, let us know, man. Let us know.
I got a quick example of how narcissism can get you killed. Let me get First Maccabees. Chapter
Captain Abiel said he might want to come in and talk about narcissism. I'm surprised he hasn't called in.
Yeah, I remember he did a class on that.
He probably fell asleep, bro. He's not even watching this show.
Let's get 5 and 55. We just go get straight to the point. 5 and 55.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 5 and verse 55. Now, what time as Judas and Jonathan were in the land of Gilead?
Now, remember, Judas, Maccabeus, and Jonathan, they were tearing them doggone Edomites up, right? They were building the names for their father. Come on.
And Simon his brother in Galilee before Ptolemaeus.
Now watch this.
Joseph the son of Zacharias and Azarias, captains of the garrison,
right,
heard of the valiant acts and warlike deeds which they had done.
So they heard of these deeds, right? Now watch this.
Wherefore they said, let us also get us a name.
Let us also get a name. So now they feeling some type of way. There's a root of bitterness here. They're trying to ride on the coattails of these other brothers. Come on.
And go, fight against the heathen that are round about us.
Now, okay, come on.
So when they had given charge unto the garrison that was with them.
So now they had souls that was under their charge with them. Now, mind you, the mind frame that they're going after is for their own self gain. Come on.
They went toward Jamnia. Then came Gorgias and his men out of the city to fight against them.
What happened?
And so it was that Joseph and Azarias were put to flight.
So first of all, they got embarrassed because they had another force that was stronger than their force coming against them while they were trying to make a name. Watch this.
And pursued unto the borders of Judea.
So they ran them off the block, and what else?
And there were slain that day of the people of Israel.
How many people lost their lives because of this narcissistic behavior?
Right. About 2,000 men.
2,000 men. Narcissism can get you killed.
It's a bang bang.
And think about it. They weren't thinking about the souls and lives of their brethren. They were thinking about, let us also go get a name.
Right. They didn't regard none of that. Hey, that's that lack of discernment that Deke was bringing out. The loop, man, it's all those things. And you know what I love about what Deke is doing is, can you get that Hebrews 5:12 about the Word of God? Because all this stuff, like prior, because remember he said you got to deal with it carnally and then also spiritually, right? But when you have that spiritual eye, the carnal things could be more discerned, right? Of how you can deal with these things, how you can study it to deal with it, right? So Hebrews 5:12.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 5 and verse 12. For when the time...
I'm sorry, 4 and 12.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 12. For the word of God is quick.
So the word of God is quick. Watch this.
And powerful. And sharper than any two-edged sword.
Come on.
Piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit.
Keep going.
And of the joints and marrow.
Now, this is the main point that I want. Come on.
And is a discerner.
And the word of God is a discerner. Come on.
Of the thoughts and intents of the heart.
Right. It is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So as we go through these topics and so forth, right? Like right now we're going into narcissism. Who knew there was so many scriptures going into narcissism without knowing that they was going into narcissism. Right? Like the proud and all that, and how the narcissism is a huge umbrella for a whole bunch of other things, bro.
Right.
Damn.
Watch what the consequence can be if you don't come out of these narcissistic tendencies.
I got you.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2. You already know what I want.
The book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 10. And with all deceivableness.
Because you're deceiving yourself by thinking that you are greater than you, more highly than you ought. Come on.
Of unrighteousness in them that perish.
And it's an unrighteousness in that because you have departed yourself from your God. Come on.
Pride.
Because they receive not the love of the truth.
Right.
That they might be saved.
See, if you humble yourself down, you might be saved in your narcissistic tendencies.
Right,
because
right.
there's nothing that's not common unto man. Come on.
Remember, the detachment from God is when the fall to destruction happens with that narcissistic behavior. So you have to humble yourself to the Lord.
That's right. Come on.
Verse 11. And for this cause.
And because you couldn't humble yourself down.
God shall send them strong delusion.
God said, the hell with you then. Watch this.
That they should believe a lie.
Verse 12.
That they all might be damned, who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
So being a narcissist is going to get your ass the lake of fire. That's what I got.
Well, people who won't repent.
Yeah.
Of our people, that's narcissistic in and of itself, right? Because they won't receive God that way it is. Hey, so I think we got a caller. In. Shalom, shalom. Can you hear me, bro?
Sir.
Where you calling from? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Sorry, Columbus, Ohio.
Shalom. Welcome to the Power Hour Plus.
Hey, shalom. Most High Christ bless leadership.
Most High Christ bless you. What's going on? You got a question, comment?
No, I was saying what I commented before was that the narcissistic behavior is like a whole hierarchy in your own mind. And you create these kind of layers to defend it. And then, it's kind of like when you always have that realization in your mind that there's a truth that's outside of your own deceit. But if you adhere to the truth, then you break down your whole persona that you built for yourself. Right. So it's like a hard reality to face.
Yep, that's heavy because, and that's the comfortableness of these spirits that they really take root and hold inside of you. I gave the example on Sabbath class, like the Siamese twins.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where it's almost impossible to pull it apart because of how much damage is done, right? Like it's become your it's become your ego. It's become your id, right? You have ego and id and all that stuff. It's become kind of your identity at that point. And it's almost like you're afraid to, well, like, then who am I without this stuff? Even though it's all negative, consequential things, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that creates that attachment. It's a false attachment, but you don't have the strength to face reality. You rather remain in the fake than the real. It's like so many levels to it.
Right. And that's why we have to apply these scriptures for that, right? That's a very good point. I appreciate you bringing that out. And that goes back to when I say it is a real thing. It's not like it's a light thing. I know sometimes when you're speaking about it, it might seem like a small thing. It's not easy. But I think the big part is if you can get to that point where you've accepted that and you realize that it's all this stuff and you at least can say, well, damn, I'm hesitant because I got to really face all this. I think you're way ahead of someone who won't even acknowledge it, you know? And then once you just, that's where the measure of faith is going to come in and heal you. That's where you're going to be able to look that up and say, okay, be strong in the Lord and the power of his might, right? And this is what's going to help me to be able to realize that, you know, that manifestation of the Spirit that I spoke out earlier,
right?
It's there, and it's not some void. That goes with Matthew 12, where it talks about when you come back and it's unclean, right?
Yeah, swept and garnished.
And swept and garnished, right? That you have to realize that that's not true. That's only true if you don't bring and embrace.
If you stay in it.
Right. And so what happens is as you break that down, you're then supposed to fill that in with the manifestation of the Spirit of God and those spiritual gifts so that you build up those qualities and things like that. And it's sad because people who don't have this faith, this is why they can't overcome those type of things. We actually have something that's medicinal for us.
That's right.
And that's healing for us in these scriptures because there's not going to be a void. There's going to be something that you fill it in when and it's righteous works. It's righteous build up in that, you know? Appreciate the call, brother. Appreciate the call. Most High in Christ bless you.
I wanted to give a little word.
Hey, Most High in Christ bless you. Leadership.
Shalom.
Shalom.
A couple of words of encouragement about mental health, right? It goes back. Give me Sirach 2, verse 10. It goes back into when you brought out I run not for uncertainty. But what was the last part?
For fight.
I fight.
Yeah, I fight.
Not
Right,
uncertainty.
not like one that beateth the air, because he had the faith. Right. Read verse 10.
The book of Sirach, chapter 2 and verse 10. Look at the generations of old and see. Did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded?
So the thing is here, it's challenging us to look through, search the scriptures, and find if there was ever a time when we were keeping God's laws that he ever forsook us or we were ever confounded. Come on.
Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken?
Uh-huh.
Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
Whenever you pray in sincerity to the Lord with a contrite spirit, guess what happens? He is going to heal you of that affliction.
That's right.
It might take some time. It might be like Deacon said with like the exercising or the diet. It takes consistency. It might hurt at first, but over time, when you get into a routine habit of doing it, you start noticing, wait, I don't deal with this as much as anymore, right? Watch this.
For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy.
Because this is why Paul said, I don't fight with uncertainty. I fight not like one beat in the air because I know what will happen if I call upon the name of the Lord. Come on.
Long suffering and very pitiful.
He's long suffering. Look, you could deal with an ailment for decades and then you try working on it over time. You might not get it right in the beginning, but God's long suffering, he sees that you're trying, so he go help you through that thing. Come on.
And forgive his sins and saveth in time of affliction.
Now go down to verse 12. Now these are for the people that understand and follow what the Bible says, but here's to the narcissist.
Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and the sinner that goeth two ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not.
Right. That is your narcissist.
He's departed from God.
He's departed from God. And so woe means destruction unto him, like we've read in so many other scriptures. Come on.
Therefore shall he not be defended.
That's it.
All praises, all praises. That reminds me of when you read this in Hebrews 11, right? Let's get 11 and 13. This because it goes back to faith. I've said that your healing comes from faith, right? And we can give all these scriptures and we can say all that. But if you don't believe it, it's not going to take the effect. It's not going to do its perfect work. Right? Go ahead, read this.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 13. These all died in faith.
Right, he gives the examples in Hebrews 11 of all the forefathers, the foremothers, the different historical things that were done, right, and their demonstration of faith. Go ahead, come on.
Not having received the promises.
Right, they didn't get the promises that were promised to them, but they believed that they would come. Come on.
But having seen them afar off.
Right, so you got to believe that if the scripture says that healings of the Lord, that he'll make you whole, that he'll do all these things, right? You're going to go ahead and take the action behind it, the requisite action behind it, and then believe that it's going to work. Go ahead, come on.
And we're persuaded of them.
Right. You have to be persuaded of these scriptures. You have to be persuaded that these are things that you can apply to things. Because, again, I'll say it again. I said it Saturday. Where's your faith when you defend these mental illnesses like you got stock in a company?
Yeah, right.
When you, except narcissism, nobody wants to claim it. But
Right.
All the
Clearly.
other ones, and you defend it. Like, no, this is what it is. This is what the doctor told me, and that's it.
Right.
And these are the steps that I got to take to treat it, right? No, you have to be persuaded of these scriptures. That's what faith is. Go ahead, come on. And what?
And confessed.
No, I want the embrace part.
And
Persuade.
and embrace them.
And embrace them. And embrace them. To embrace something is like a hug, right? It's not something that's not tangible. You make them tangible in your life, right? Go ahead, come on.
And confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth.
Right. Now, he's going into that because letting them know that this is not our rest.
Rest, yeah.
But my point is that they embraced it. This is that measure of faith. That's how you show that faith. That's how you embrace that faith. That's how you move forward from all these things that are on you, right? Real quick, show the graphic because we redid it of the other conditions as a reminder. Because not just narcissism, because nobody wants to claim the narcissism. So let's get narcissism out the way. No, the graphic that I posted of the biblical name, yes, right. So we corrected it because it wasn't aligned too well with other stuff. And I want to look at some of them again and just, maybe y'all will claim some of these. Reprobate mind, right? Disassociation, psychopathy, fornication, hypersexuality. That's the spirit. That's what they would diagnose you with, right? And that's a spirit. And that's the spirit. You can fight that. That can be fought with the scriptures, right? Debate and strife. Always argumentative personalities, right? You got
That's a
people
big
all
one,
the
actually.
time. That's a huge
Really
one.
big one.
Man.
That's a huge one. Tobias been guilty of that too.
Facts.
Right? Hey, like,
We've
all
all
of this-
been. We've all been. We've all
I
been.
hear what you're saying, but I don't agree.
Hey, all of it, bro.
I feel like you're violating my First
Take it.
Amendment rights.
I need it. More jobs.
Disobedient to parents, right?
Man.
Freaking kids, conduct disorder, and that's antisocial behavior, implacable, right? Chronic anger, whisperers and bike batters. Ooh, you have a lot of that.
Ooh.
Gossip, that's narcissistic
Damn,
abuse.
narcissistic
You
abuse.
Yeah.
busybodies,
Damn it.
you murmurers, you whisperers, you backbiters in the body. That's
win.
narcissistic abuse. Haters of God and proud. That's narcissistic personality disorder. Inventors of evil things. Those evil surmisings. Antisocial personality disorder. Liars. Ooh, I hate the lying one. Boy, I'll tell you.
Man.
Pathological lying. Because the Damn, people that's that a got the disorder. spirit of lying,
Yeah.
they lie about you can't.
That's their identity.
That's it.
And lying is very detrimental.
And it just comes so easy to them.
It can destroy lives.
We've all told, oh man, I'm not feeling too good. I'm not coming to work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
But I'm talking about
Yeah.
the people that like everything is a lie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everything's a lie. They're dangerous, bro. They're dangerous. Men stealers, right? That's traffickers. That's a controlling spirit. Lasciviousness and uncleanness. Again, that goes into hypersexuality, sexual disorders, wrath and variance. That's the explosive disorder, intermittent explosive disorder. Mood swings. People who have wrath and variance is mood swing. 1 minute,
Damn.
1 minute they're good.
The
next minute,
Right.
you're
It's
like,
like Dr. Jekyll and Mr.
you're
Hyde.
like, damn, just
Just
chill.
chill.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Hey, you drunkards, revelings, that's addiction, that's
Substance
addictive
abuse
behavior,
and
substance
addiction.
abuse, right? Witchcraft, okay. Without understanding, delusional thinking. Envying and emulation, that's inferiority and self-inflation, which falls under narcissism. You had brought that out when you brought up your scripture in Ezra's, was it?
Oh, it's a rock.
Sirach, right? And then without natural
Lack
affection.
of empathy.
Hey, and that's apathy.
that without the
right,
natural.
that's the opposite of lack of empathy, right? Apathy, that's narcissistic. And so notice how I said narcissism falls within all of these
Yeah.
as well, right? So
Tendrils in.
yes,
Right.
yes, it falls into it.
Now,
Falls
someone asked how they can get a copy of this. you have any issues with posting this on
No,
Instagram?
you can put it on Instagram.
Yeah, because this is the corrected one.
Yeah,
so.
we'll put it on the show's Instagram.
Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock. I'm ready to wrap unless y'all got something.
Somebody asked what Gaia worship was.
That's some sort of. I haven't looked into that too much. I think that's just. It's just the way that they go into what they call like idolatry type of thing. What? Go ahead, Benson.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and post that right now on the Power Hour Instagram for whomever wants to go and screenshot it.
All praises.
And
right. Okay, so let me look that up. Gaia worship is also known as, you have it, Gaianism. It's a philosophy that honors the earth, promotes environmentalism, and seeks to reduce human impact on the planet.
Right.
Wow, so he gave one. So those like Greenpeace.
I was gonna say no. That's the image you see of the tree woman.
Okay.
You know the you know what I'm talking about, the tree woman.
Mother Earth type.
The Mother Earth tree. Yeah,
Something
that's
like
what that is. Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. And that's just one example, right? The idolatry has many manifestations, but that's interesting. Thanks for the question because it prompted me to look at some of these more detailed, right? That's the show.
Man, that was a great show.
Hey, I appreciate those who did call in. I appreciate the call-ins. I think people just don't want to zoom in.
Because they are narcissists, and so they don't want to be found out.
I don't know. Or maybe they got some other vibe.
Right.
I don't know. I gotta go through the other book. Maybe they got some other vibe.
Damn.
I know. I want to have more. I mean, I think we discussed,
right?
Us, right? And we kind of discussed with y'all in the chat. So I'm gonna take that as the win.
Right. It's a dub. That was a dub.
And we got 2 call-ins.
That was a
the
dub.
few that did call in, they were pretty solid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't no weird stuff.
I mean, this is just the beginning. I'm sure you're going to go into more. So we got.
We'll see
more
where
to
the
look
spirit
forward
takes
to.
me out.
Lord's willing.
Yeah, and we cover these topics periodically, so it will happen.
Someone said no. Go plus 3 times. Man, I'm hungry and tired. I want to drink.
Yeah.
I want to drink my protein shake.
It was looking good too.
Right.
I ain't gonna front.
And get some rest.
And strawberry.
Right? I'm gonna a protein shake and get some rest. Take it away, Mini-Me.
All praises. Hey, Shalom, we are seeking your assistance to enhance our national brand. I don't know why you.
Because you're triggered.
I don't know why he does this.
Because you're triggered.
He's flushed.
All right, I'm gonna read the thing. I'm gonna read the thing. We're seeking your assistance to enhance our national broadcast. Please scan the QR code. Let us know how we did. Let us know how IT did. All right. Hey, the Zoom call. We live. We getting it popping. So this ain't the end.
Since you got the bonnet on, I hit the nail on the head.
Damn it.
They all in their bonnets.
They all in the bonnet. They all in the bonnet.
Right, because mind you, it's like 1 a.m. somewhere. You know. Yeah. That's what it was.
Right. Hey, what else? You throw the other one up.
Next one. Oh, this is a big one, right?
Hey, blow that thing up, man.
Hey, y'all saw, man, the prophets was out in the east, right? And all throughout Africa, Madagascar and all that.
Mauritius.
Hey, you know that was the tribe of Asher down there.
Man, what's
right?
happening?
Tribe of Asher receiving the word.
Some
of them.
We got an updated 12 tribe sign we got to put out.
Yeah. So make sure y'all donate to the Booster Club. It's very easy. All you got to do is scan the QR code, or you can text the gift 646-982-3858. Listen, we need your support. And it ain't even just for the trips. It's all the defense. Money is a defense, right? So all these evil people.
No, it helps us pay for shows when we establish schools
all
there.
that.
Booster Club helps us
Exactly.
sometimes support like internet for the schools.
Yeah.
Sometimes they need certain things and things like that. Uniforms for them to go out and keep camp. Some of them can't even, get flyers done over there. So we have to support. So it's not just for us to necessarily travel. Booster helps the schools that we do establish as well.
Hey, for the non-narcissists, just think about it. Your contribution is actually helping building schools around the world.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That's it.
Damn, you got me looking like they better give.
Yeah.
Right.
You better give.
That
very persuasive.
That forearm is like very persuasive.
Yeah, that mug is tough. then the one in the far left is like if you didn't, or if you're not doing it.
Let me see who did and didn't. Right.
Narcissist.
What else we got?
All right, and of course, do not forget to follow us. Don't forget to make sure you subscribe to Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Help us get to 30K subscribers.
Yeah.
Right.
We should put Asher on the other side so they can see how he's shorter.
How
than me.
shorter than you? Yeah, we should.
Right? No, don't put
The
him
mini
up there.
you.
No. His
You're not
his narcissistic self might like it.
Yeah, right.
We got YouTube, we got TikTok. Hey, and original royalty. Don't forget what Officer Ravain brings out. We got some things coming, so make sure y'all stay tuned, man. We're gonna bring it out.
All right.
All right. Hey, y'all stay safe. All right. Stay in the spirit. All right. And with that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwame Yasharala. Hey, one nation, one nation. This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza. We one nation, one nation. This for the Southern Kingdom, Kwame Yasharala. Hey, one nation, one nation. This for the Northern Kingdom, Viva la Raza. We one nation, one nation. It wouldn't be Israel without Mexicans. Black love, brown pride, cause we next to kin. We ain't gotta tell Esau to let's be friends, cause we above all nations and we better than them. We the salt of the earth, ayy, ayy. And we been king since birth, ayy, ayy. We put the kingdom first, ayy, ayy. And they gon' get this work, ayy, ayy. We was chosen, not cause we the most of the people. Few in numbers, but we over the people. We gods of this earth, we ain't supposed to be equal. Stop playing, you emotional people. The good gotta triumph over the evil. So my foot's on the throat of the eagle. Their tongues will confess that we the people. Cause my nation ain't never been